call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Delays on I-4 continue eastbound on the interstate between Osceola Parkway and 535. Traffic looking good so far this morning for those who plan to travel north or southbound on Florida's Turnpike. No delays to report right now on the Greenway or on the 429. If you see any major traffic problems, make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Capital One Bank. What's in your wallet? Capital One offers no fees or minimums on checking accounts. And most Capital One cafes are open 7 days a week to assist with your banking needs. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
Congratulations, Dennis. You just won $1,000 from Real Radio.
Oh, wow.
What are you going to do with your money, Dennis?
Party or pay some bills.
With 13 chances each day to get $1,000 in your hand, we ask, who's next? This contest brought to you locally by Mills Air.
Mills Air has been in business since 1992, right here in Central Florida. That's over 29 years. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. Turn to the experts. That's Mills Air. It's equipment change-out time. You can get upgrades up to $1,275 in rebates. Go to millsair.com.
No required subscriptions, no trial periods, no surprise charges, no monthly fees. iHeartRadio is different. It's 100% free. Download the iHeartRadio app now.
Get ready for the ultimate freestyle experience. Monster Jam Freestyle Mania, presented by Spin Master. For the first time ever, Monster Jam trucks team up with freestyle motocross bikes to deliver gravity-defying skills and thrills. See one-of-a-kind FMX bikes designed to match your favorite iconic Monster Jam trucks. Cheer on your favorite team. 2 times the freestyle action. Full sand family fun. Coming to Kia Center August 8th and 9th. Brought to you by BKD Tires, Morgan & Morgan, and your local Ford dealers. Tickets on sale now.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. The number one mistake people make when getting a mortgage is not comparing their quote. It's so easy to compare at my website, thatmortgageguydon.com.
Thatmortgageguydon.com. I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine. I'm Ellie Anajar. Together, we're Anajar and Levine. If you've been hurt in a car crash, we'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call Anajar and Levine for your free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. In Office Orlando.
MSC Cruises feel so stylish and European. Let's espresso and gelato.
Espresso and gelato? Those aren't verbs.
Yeah, on MSC Cruises they are.
Oh, well, in that case, I'm into the American stuff. Let's coffee and soft serve.
Sounds like a plan. Maybe later we can chaise lounge and espadrille?
I think you mean pool chair and flip-flop.
For a limited time, get up to 30% off cruises. Plus get up to $500 onboard credit and kids sail free. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
In this edition of the Marketers Report, Kelsey Agostinelli, Vice President of Marketing Operations for Mars, talks about the mindset of the listener.
Trust in a platform or trust in a brand comes from transparency. iHeart's commitment to being uniquely human is all about transparency. Leverage the tools where they make sense, but don't fool anyone.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia connects marketers to the audiences, live events, and trusted influencers you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartAdvertising.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
C-Lane here, and guys, let's have a chat for a second. If you are starting to see the symptoms of erectile dysfunction or PE show up in the bedroom, you know that's not something that fixes itself. It might be time to call Premier Men's Medical Center. A lot of guys are calling. They're very helpful, and they want you to avoid surgery. They told me that's one of their big goals. They have painless procedures, and surgery is painful, it's invasive, and it's expensive. And they don't want you to have to go through that. They want you to go through their painless procedure, and 98% of men see results right there in the office, right there, same day. So if you're still relying on pills, if you're having to up your dose, it's time to call Premier Men's Medical Center. They're getting guys back to where they should be and feel like themselves again. They're offering a free consultation, but you've got to call now. 407-723-7533. It's 407-723-7533. Don't overthink it. Just call the incredibly helpful, the incredibly knowledgeable folks at Premier Men's Medical Center and find them online at premiermensmedical.com.
This earful of Real Radio is sponsored by Wassey's Meat Market, the best place to buy a big green egg.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Preset. Preset. That's preset. Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Someone's going to get offended.
It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers.
The News Junkie is on. The best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie starts now.
It is Friday, July 31st, 2026. Lots to get to today. From they backed down to 60,000 Moroccans swarm into Spanish territory, and the Nolan Wells autopsy results have finally arrived. Plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. C-Lane is here.
Hello.
Josh is with us.
Hello.
And so are you. You can join us with a dispatch. Send yours today. Record it over at thenewsjunkie.com or in the app right now. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right to the studio in real time. And this never, ever, ever happens, friends.
What happened?
Let me just check here. I think confirmed. I have a last-minute message that has just arrived before the show.
Where did it arrive?
It's just arrived here from our executive producer, and Weiler Tyler has delivered it to me. It says
you got a raise?
Yeah, finally. It's the last-minute message from that kid who made a sandwich gun. Let's see what he says.
Have a great Friday, you mother.
We did it, everybody!
Yay.
That's right. We made it through a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday has arrived. Pat yourself on the back. Even Josh is excited. Did you hear that? That you hear that yay? That yay was full of so much vigor. So much excitement was packed into that thing. Oh, boy. It's Friday, everybody. I hope everybody's doing great. We have a huge show for you today. Absolutely massive. Massive in all caps. And we're going to start getting into this. We got an interview, I think, coming up later.
We do.
God, exclusive, worldwide, global exclusive interview. Let's just get started. Let's do what we always do. Let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great, big, wide world of ours. And we go to women's golf, everybody. Yes, that's right. You knew it was going to happen. You knew we were going to do it. Big into sports, real big into women's golf.
I got a lot to do today. Next up, women's professional. I'm good. We're good.
Yeah, just bear with me. There is a golfer, a women's golfer named Charlie. Charlie, that's popping off as a girl's name these days, I think. Charlie Hull. And she was telling a story at the LPGA event, and she thought it was the funniest thing in the world. And I think a lot of people like me were watching and going, you know what? I don't think this is funny. I don't think this is funny anymore. Here's her story. You can pick a side if you like. You could pick the golfer's side or the guy she decided to pull a prank on. Her caddy, all right? The guy who, like, drags around the clubs and does all the grunt work and whatnot. You pick a side, the golfer or the caddy. Here we go.
And it's good because I love playing for money, I'm not going to lie. Like, that's why I think I play so well in the majors, because even if I'm quite a lot behind, I'm like, come on, ads, let's make loads of birdies today, extra dollars for me and him to get.
All right, so no idea what she said there, but something along the lines of she loves playing for money.
Yes.
She loves making a bunch of money. She loves getting rich off of the LPGA and women's golf. All right.
Actually, talking of money today, I was in the, went to a prank shop in Blackpool last night. and I got some scratch cards. So we go into the players' lounge this morning, and I was like, I've got some scratch cards from the shop. He was like, yeah. This one was like $100,000. And we've got it all on record. He's like scratching it. He's like, oh my gosh, I've won. He's taking his hat off. He's taking his glasses off. He's literally running around the players' lounge saying, I've won $100,000.
All right, let me translate. This lady is saying that she bought her caddy a fake lottery ticket and made him think he won $100,000.
Classic.
And he's running around, he's celebrating, he's enjoying himself. And she's, by the way, this is kind of slightly, mildly funny when you and your poor friend do it to each other. When a rich person does it to a poor person, it's not funny, okay? There's nothing funny about, so imagine Elon Musk bought every employee of Twitter a fake lottery winning ticket,
right after he took over. He would do that prank too.
He would think it's hilarious.
Isn't it hilarious? The poor people thought they had a chance for a second.
And there's no hilarity in a rich person, like an athlete.
Where did Josh's Elon Musk come from, and why are we just meeting him now?
Hopefully it sticks around. But
I got to remember how I did that.
She thinks it's funny. I'm saying it's not funny when a rich person does that to a person who's not nearly as wealthy as they are.
Taking today off, his face looks so happy. He was sweating, he was trembling, he couldn't believe his luck. And then we had to tell him it was fake, and he nearly quit the job.
I wonder why.
I got it all on camera, to be fair. I'll try and find it and I'll send it to somebody, but it is just absolutely hilarious. I don't know if you guys can see, this is his reaction.
Yeah, so she's holding up the phone as she recorded him. Yeah, this was him when he thought he won $100,000.
Face on camera when he thought he was winning $100,000.
Bro, you can't do this. You get imagine doing this to, if iHeart Brass came around and did this to rank and file employees at the company. That's not how the prank works. The prank is to be done on one poor person by another one. If your family is poor, you could give one to your mom for Christmas. It's still messed up.
Yeah, poor on poor crime.
Exactly, Josh. This is poor on poor crime. That's what it's made for. The moment somebody who's wealthy gets involved in it, it seems mean.
The iHeart prank could be so much less too. You could just tell us there was free food and then pull that rug from under us, and we'd be like, oh.
Go out into the lunchroom. There's a free Mexican buffet.
The email said that there was a free Mexican buffet. It said guaranteed cumin. And what happened?
No. So she's showing everything.
Reaction when he thought he won £100,000, and it was just hilarious. I think
Oh, I'm going to stop because I think he curses. I think he's like, holy F, I won. I'm so happy. My life's going to be better now. And then right back down to earth. When your boss tells you, no, I was just pranking you. You didn't. I think that's wrong. I think it's wrong when a boss does it to an employee. I think when a wealthy person does it to a poor person, the fake lottery ticket prank is wrong. It's not very nice. Key says professional caddies are poor. They're paid very well. I don't know what an LPGA caddy averages, but you guys, can you look that up for me? I'm guessing an LPGA caddy is not an incredibly wealthy individual, all right? I think they probably do okay, but there's a reason why he was so excited about $100,000, because $100,000 to him is a lot of money. It's a lot.
Earn a weekly base salary of $1,200 to $2,200, plus a standard commission of 10% for a tournament win, 7% for a top 10 finish, and 5% for other finishes inside the cut line.
Yeah, they're not wealthy. They're not rich
Unless
people.
you're the best golfer's caddy, you're doing pretty well.
Unless you're Lady Tiger Woods caddy, which I don't even know who
Woods.
Does anybody know? Anybody know who the greatest female golfer in the world is? That person, whoever that is, Paige Spiranac.
That lady.
I only know the one that's famous for just being half dressed all the time, the Paige Spiranac. And I don't even think she's a professional golfer. I think I don't know. But this lady, I think, is wrong. I think
she just has an OnlyFans and a bag of clubs. That's it.
You don't know what I'm talking about? You never heard of the Paige Spiranac lady? No? Google it. Google what I'm... so she's something. I don't know
she
exactly.
Is something.
Yeah, what is she? She's
33
something, right?
years old?
Yeah. Okay. Former professional golfer. So I didn't have it totally wrong. But she is always in like the New York Post and stuff with like female golf stories. So that's the only name I know related to this at all. But anyhow, I don't want to diverge from the topic too much. It's mean. It's mean and it's wrong. And you shouldn't be doing this stuff. Okay. Don't prank people who are poorer than you with a fake lottery winning ticket. Okay.
Just do what Sean does and buy the people that are poorer than you real lottery tickets that take like 20 minutes to scratch off and none of them work.
Let me tell you something. That's 10,000 times nicer, is it not? To buy somebody a real lottery ticket is at least a potentiality that they could scratch that sucker.
You're saying there's a chance.
As there's a little bit of a chance. A little tiny baby, tiny little chance. But there's still a chance nonetheless. Okay. We won. They backed down. We were successful, everybody. Our pressure campaign worked against the National Football League. Yay! I knew we could do it. We did it. I got this morning from our friend Marky, who we talked to about what was happening with this crunch on all of the bars around the country and restaurants that put on the NFL games, and they were going to have to pay $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 to retrofit their restaurants and bars with equipment to be able to show the games that people wanted before the football season. And after the pressure mounted, there was a buckling. And now we have a story that says DirecTV and EverPass have striked a distribution and expanded partnership deal around the NFL Sunday ticket.
Struck,
I guess.
Stricken.
Strike. Yeah. DirecTV and EverPass have a new multi-year deal that will keep DirecTV for Business distributing NFL Sunday tickets to bars, restaurants, hotels, casinos, and other commercial establishments in the United States of America. DirecTV had went on the offensive in negotiations. EverPass had responded by saying it will no longer distribute their out-of-market package to bars and restaurants via satellite. It was going to force everybody, including 300,000 plus commercial locations, to buy all this equipment, to pay an outrageous sum of money to be able to show football games to you, the fan. And finally, they have made a deal. They have caved. They have succumbed to the pressure campaign. And your local bar is not going to take that hit, which is good news. And I'm happy about that today, for God's sake.
One of the things that was super confusing to me, I know I got at least understood a little bit why they would want the bars to get better internet if they were streaming all the games. Yeah, you need more bandwidth. I got that. But the boxes, they're like, you need to spend this many $1,000s on a box for each of your TVs for your distribution network or whatever. We need these. And I'm like, everything else streaming is an app.
Yeah.
How do they not have just an app for this?
For Chromecast, for Fire Stick,
for any of it.
For whatever.
Yeah. Why would it not just be an app? And then you can go, all right, we got the app. We're done with, all the TVs run the app. And then
Could it be because, C-Lane, maybe they would be afraid that somebody would reverse engineer
possibly, but I mean,
app.
You can reverse engineer the box too.
Ooh,
I've heard that.
Okay, can we reverse engineer DirecTV? Can we do that? We used to be able to do that.
Yeah, they used to have those cards and stuff. The only silver lining to what they were offering and this insane amount of money that they were charging for this was, I do remember being opening day NFL. At I think you mentioned it when we were talking about it. Tom's Watch Bar had, which they have just an insane amount of TVs, big ones, small ones,
some as big as your head.
So they're way bigger than your head, Josh. And but it was a rainy day, and the DirecTV went goodbye.
That's brutal.
Like it started storming, and all of the football games just turned off. Beep, 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 beep. So I was like, at least if you're streaming it, as long as your internet stays up, you're not losing those games.
There's a worse thing that happens when you have DirecTV and the weather interrupts. It's like when it starts to become all digitized and the frames are freezing. Like, the wide receiver starts turning into blocks of, code and stuff. And then finally you get that little, I don't know if they still do it, but the DirecTV sign used to have the the DVD icon style thing kind of bouncing around.
Yes.
Like you start staring at that for hours on end, waiting for it to all.
And then the whole bar just goes, the weather.
Yeah, everybody gets real angry. But the good news is this is going to be great for all these bars out there that we're about to get squeezed. I know a lot of places were worried about this, whether you know about it or not. That's why we wanted to give some attention to it. We won. They backed down. They made a deal. They cracked. We beat them. Take that, NFL. All right? Take that. We win this round. That's one for us, 5,686 for your side. So we'll see what else happens here on the show today. C-Lane is barely with us. Just barely. Almost died last night.
I'm fine.
Almost died last night.
Really bruised my ego.
By the way, Josh, how are you feeling? Just out of curiosity.
I'm good.
Because I have a little tickle in the back of my throat. And
what's his name?
If C-Lane spread whatever he's been fighting off for the past several days, not only to his wife, but to me as well, and my weekend that I've been waiting so long for is somehow ruined by this, I'm going to lose my mind. So I will
think
try.
The fact that Josh feels great.
Mm-hmm.
He was closer to me last night than you were,
and in general,
yeah,
he's stronger.
He's stronger than you.
Thank you for admitting it.
Finally. He's younger and stronger. Yeah, he's been going to the gym. His immune system's tougher. There's a lot of advantages he has over me. So this thing could take me out. Anyhow, C-Lane almost died last night. What was it that took you down? What was it?
I was taking out the recycling, and then when I was coming back in the garage, I tripped on something.
Don't even know what it was?
No, there's a lot of crap in my garage.
All right. Yeah.
It's rate my mess worthy. My garage,
God.
Especially right now.
You could have won.
And no, I very much lost. I tripped and fell on my knees. So I have like weirdly large bandages on both my knees right now.
Oh no!
I look ridiculous, and I feel even dumber. Yeah, I just kind of sat there for like the most pregnant of 10 seconds and just like, ugh, what the hell, man?
Yeah.
Why?
Did you call for help? Did you do like a help I've fallen and I can't get up moment?
No, my wife didn't hear a damn thing.
No?
No.
You think she would have let you die in that garage?
I think maybe after a while she would have come out and been like, it's been a while. What are you doing in here?
It's been several days. Do you mean a while like a couple of days, or do you mean like the lady on the Titanic kind of a while?
I think
84 years.
Like maybe 15 minutes at least. I would hope 15 minutes. Yeah, if it was any longer, I would be concerned.
So your knees are all knocked up? You got bandages on your knees
they're all
today?
scuffed up.
Good God. All right. Well,
I look ridiculous.
You do. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of par for the course, but to stay with the golf puns. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get to your emails that will get us fired off.
No need to be catty about this.
Nice. That's it. We're stopping it right there.
Balls.
Hole. All the rest are filthy. Yeah. Okay. When we come back, we'll talk about these videos that are just all over social media of 60,000 people swarming into this Spanish territory. And I have for you the thing that nobody else either knows or can figure out or whatever in the news, the reason why this all happened. Everybody misses the boat on this. I'll tell you the actual reason why, and I'll explain it to you if you haven't seen these insane videos. Good time for you to pop over to youtube.com/The News Junkie. We'll be back with that and so much more on a fun Friday show. That is coming up next on The News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733. Delays on I-4 continue eastbound on the interstate between Osceola Parkway and 535.
Hello. Welcome behind the scenes of the show. YouTube, Twitch, how are you doing today? Uh-oh. Mega Chat needs a refresh. Stand by. Electronic. Oh, I think it just refreshed on its own. I double refreshed it. How many of you have seen the videos of this Spanish territory getting overrun by 60,000 Moroccans? How many of you have seen those videos? Give me a yes or no in chat, everybody. Have you seen the videos of the 60,000 Moroccan men swarming this place? It's Spanish territory in the north of Africa. Yes, saw it. It's crazy. Heard about it, but didn't see the video. I've got the video for you. Yucker said, just saw that news story, 34 dead. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, not only was this incredibly dangerous and shocking, and anytime you have like a music festival worth of people swarming into another territory, it's going to be overwhelming and dangerous and deadly. But the actual reason why this happened is so crazy and nobody is hitting on it. Nobody at all seems to understand what's going on here. So I'll explain it next. Bird Nerd says, yeah, these are insane. It's something, man. If you haven't seen the video, stand by. I got a short recap of what happened. And then I'll explain to you the real story about those videos. Hey, Tony. Tony says, no. No, Tony. Well, I'll show them to you when you come back here with us. Crazy S in them videos. I got a little tickle back there. If C-Lane got me sick, I swear to God, my voice must be strong. Why did they grant amnesty? They didn't really. BDMX Con says it's Spanish territory on the continent of Africa, not mainland Europe. I'll explain next. I think a lot of people have really missed the point of what's happening here, but it'll be simple when I explain this. 3 minutes and I'll do that. Spain, France, and UK are idiotic countries. That's why. Says Chaos. C-E-U-T-A. How do I pronounce this place? C-E-U-T-A. C-E-U-T-A. Pronunciation. Ceuta?
Ceuta.
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 Ceuta. Ceuta.
Ceuta. Ceuta. Okay, it's in Ceuta. Let me make a note for that so I don't sound like an idiota. Ceuta. Okay. We're coming back in 2 minutes. 2 minutes, everybody. Tony Romo placed on leave. Is that true? Stand by. Stand by. C-Lane, let's do a 12 here. What the hell? I don't see anything about that. You said CBS? I don't see this. But I believe you. All right, 3 minutes ago, Tony Romo is on leave from his role at CBS Sports until further notice. The network has announced J.J. Watt is going to replace Romo and work with Jim Nantz and Tracy Wolfson for now. Tony Romo on leave because he lied to us. He lied to us. Okay, we're coming back live on the show right now. Let's talk about these Moroccans invading Spanish territory. The real story behind it is crazy. Next break, I have a massive, very, very, very important question for you. Do not miss out on this. Next commercial break, I have a mega important question for you.
Not from you. It's the same radio you've never paid for. Live radio stations, playlists, podcasts, and artist stations all in one app. So if you haven't already, download the free iHeartRadio app. Free radio. Always has been, always will be. Now wherever you go.
iHeartRadio. For all your plumbing needs, go to modernpi.com.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Preset. Preset. That's preset. Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Send him your tips and your deepest, darkest secrets. Email tips@thenews.
Good to have you on board. Welcome to the show. Learn more about all things happening over here, and you can go to the website to do that. Even subscribe to the podcast over at thenewsjunkie.com. I don't know how many of you have seen these videos out of this. It's a Spanish territory. It's pronounced Ceuta, in case you see it somewhere, but it's a Ceuta. And the videos have just taken over social media, especially my feed last night. I was like, wow, this is everywhere right now because thousands and thousands. They said 60,000 plus people from Morocco, almost all of them young dudes, right? Like young men from Morocco just started in this massive line making their way into this area called Ceuta. And I'll explain a little bit more about what happened. But for those of you who are watching with us today on YouTube, I'll bring up a couple of videos. I'll explain it for you listening, just so you know what's going on. But the lines of people, 60,000 deep, it's just so crazy. You got to see this. Those are people along the coast of this Ceuta territory. Well, they're in Morocco right now. Before they get over to the fence, they go into the ocean and around this big border fence.
Very secure.
Very, very secure, Josh. We'll talk about that in a moment because that's one of the big problems that people don't seem to understand about this. But there's a huge, huge, endless line of these young men flooding into this country, right? Now, where is it? Let me show you just a bit of this here. It's between Spain and North Africa. North Africa is down here. Spain is here. And people are like, well, hold on. How is there's a part of Spain in Africa? Well, there used to be a place called the Strait of Gibraltar where you could cross between those two continents. You could go from Spain into Africa. It's not really passable, or most of the time you can't get from one place to another now. But they're very close. The Strait of Gibraltar is right there. And there's this small territory on the top of Africa that is known as Ceuta, and it's Spanish territory. It's right across from Spain and the Strait of Gibraltar, and it is in the north, central North Africa is where this little connection is. And that little area, I think there's like 80,000 people that live there or something, somewhere around that. So like 80,000 people live there, and 60,000 Moroccans came into the area. And some of the footage is just crazy to see. I mean, just piles of people crawling on people. Looks like a zombie movie.
Yeah, it's like World War Z, where they climb up on top of each other to build like towers of zombies.
I've seen that comparison. Yeah, there's a lot of World War Z. Oh, look at it's all men, all young dudes. 60,000 of them.
I'm Spanish now.
It's kind of bizarre because as they make their way into the Spanish territory, it's almost like they've just finished a 4K or something. Like, yeah, I did it. You know, I made it in here. Again, I'll tell you what's really happening here in a moment. But all these guys, not a woman in sight, save for there was one. Yeah, there was one woman who was at the bridge right inside the city that they were going to, like waving them in. There was one woman like, come on in. It's all guys, shirtless men, endlessly, and
Bienvenidos, boys.
One woman filming with her phone, like, yeah, come on in. I don't know what her role in all of this is, but she was out there waving them on by. And the coverage was just absolutely explosive. Here's a sample.
Wild video here. Chaos at the border of Spain's North African enclave in Morocco. This is a city called Ceuta. You're watching as thousands of migrants break through the fence and completely overwhelm the border police.
Their graphic is wrong in case you're paying attention. Migrants storm border of northern Spain. This is definitely not northern Spain.
Mm-hmm. No.
It's the southern portion of Spain that's actually not even connected to Spain.
Video showing huge groups of people, mostly young military-age guys, cramming into inflatable tubes or arriving on shore in other ways, some of them wading in the water as they break through the gates to get to the other side. Sandra, this is reminiscent of kind of what we saw during the open border during the Biden administration through 2021, 2022.
Knew they were going to make that
similar to what we saw in Del Rio back in 2021.
I don't think the Mexicans ever stormed the Rio Grande like this.
I don't know if there was ever numbers like 60,000 at once.
Nope. It's very reminiscent of it. The first thing I thought of was Biden.
There were a lot, okay? I'm not going to say there weren't a lot. There were a lot. But this looks like some sort of international competition that Mr. Beast is running, right? This looks like Mr. Beast says, if you cross over into Spanish territory, the first one that touches the statue in the center square is going to get $1 million. That's what this looks like when I'm watching this. But they all start flooding into the country. And then people are going, well, why is this happening? What's going on here? There are 3 reasons, and most of the news outlets completely miss all this. They don't understand what's going on. 3 reasons why 60,000 Moroccan dudes just went around the fence and invaded this area that's Spanish territory. The first reason is there was a ruling in a court, the Supreme Court, I believe, of Spain, and the ruling said that if immigrants made their way into their country by water, they wouldn't be immediately expelled. All right, that was the ruling. All right, so the Spanish Supreme Court said if immigrants enter Spain or Spanish territory via water, they wouldn't be immediately expelled. Right, so that was the first thing that happened. Then Morocco, you got to remember Morocco's involved in this because these are all Moroccan people. Why are all these people running? Why are they going across the border? Well, Morocco wants this land. Morocco's like, this is our territory. This is Africa. This isn't Spain. This is Morocco here. This is our territory.
Little Gaza.
So they've done this multiple times, but the Moroccans said, pull all of the guards. Did you notice there were no guards, no soldiers, no nothing?
Just
anybody
that
notice
chick.
it? Yeah, just one woman waving them in. There's no... The Moroccans, because they want to take this territory from Spain, they've done this before. They pull their guards, and all the guards are removed. And then the third thing that happened is almost completely to blame social media. Social media, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram,
Twitter. Y'all see this?
They start posting on all of these platforms. There were Google groups and Facebook groups and TikTok accounts. There's some of these groups that have hundreds of thousands of followers, and many of them have been taken down after this. But they coordinated this on social media platforms. Then people were making more TikTok videos, and they were swarming into this country because they were promised all sorts of stuff. Like, essentially, they were promised, you got a free pass. You're going to make your way in. You're going to get a job. Like, the social media stories were promising them jobs, money, freedom in Spain, all of these things. So all of these things work together with social media, with Morocco wanting to take this territory back because they think it's theirs. It's part of their country and their continent and not Spain. And they pull the guards as all this momentum is going from this Spanish court decision. That's what led to the situation that we saw with 60,000 people crossing in. The other piece that you might not learn is they started turning them around pretty quickly, though there's not video of that. I think within 24 hours, 25,000 of them had been sent back. They said, get out of here. They sent them back. Not before they caused a bunch of chaos. They were like invading homes. They were busting into stores. They were prying windows open to people's houses. Like, imagine freeing a music festival full of people, like a major music festival full of people, into any city and just saying run wild, right? and then everybody's kind of hyped up by the social media aspects of it. That's what ends up happening in this case. So yeah, it happened right there on this little tip of Africa, right across from Spain. I don't think people know. Like, what's the famous painting of God touching the finger of man? Is that it? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
What is that? Is that Da Vinci? Who is that? It's like, look that up for me.
The Creation of Adam.
Thank you, Josh.
By Michelangelo.
Michelangelo's Creation of Adam, where they're like touching fingers. That's how, and a lot of people don't know this, Spain touches very, very close to the continent of Africa, and that's Moroccan territory, except for this little tip area, which is super rude. And I've seen this before. Morocco got so cucked out of territory. This is the coast of Morocco. And a bunch of the coast of Morocco is actually not even Moroccan territory. All the beach on one whole side of Morocco.
Classic Spain.
Yeah, Spain was like, we don't have enough beach in our country. It seems like you got some beach over there. We're going to take some of your beach. Be a real unfortunate if somebody took your beach from you. That's what happened in this case. So give us your thoughts on this. It was wild seeing those videos spread out over social media, which kind of caused it to begin with. We'll see what you think. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. All right. Let's see here. A couple emails coming in. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. And Shelby emails the show. Hey, Sean, I just wanted to thank you and remind you of what you do for your listeners every day. While some people may think this is just a radio show, you, Elaine, and Josh help your listeners take our mind off of things. You give us some sense of reality and normalcy and occasionally make us laugh. My cousin was shot at work this morning. Jesus. Holy cow. I've attached the news story below, as you are the news junkie, just trying to navigate the morning in the unknown, and so much uncertainty is one thing, but it was very comforting to have you guys to listen to just like normal, so thank you, says Shelby. Well, God almighty.
Damn.
I mean, that sucks. Thoughts with him. I guess he, her cousin got shot at work today or whatever, but I'll take a look at that story. Let me know if there's anything more to it, and thoughts out to you and your family, obviously, in the moment. Thank you for the kind words as well. Lewis emails the show. He said, you said yesterday 66% of Gen Z workers slack off at work. Lewis says 100% of people slack off at work. And it's not just a digital thing. I've held many jobs when I was younger, and there were jobs where we had to be there 9 to 5, but as long as we got the work done, it was all good. I don't know if it was because I was usually the youngest person at most jobs, but my mentality was always, let's bust out the work quick and get 3 hours of doing whatever we want. When I worked at Target, every hour we had a certain number of tasks to do. Sometimes it was just one task, he says. So we'd go find a place to nap. Oh, we talked about this before. I think I might have talked about this email before. But he's saying they would party hard and work hard over at Target. Here's another one. Shoeless in Syracuse emails tips at thenewsjunkie.com. Hey, News Junkie, C-Lane and Josh. Caught a lot of the show on Thursday of this week. You were talking about flock sign bases, and certain groups are concerned about the proximity to the road. Yes, it's a thing to have a frangible base for safety. I work in the aviation industry, so I'm loosely related. Every sign around the airport has to have a base that can shear off. The problem with these flock cameras is the poles that they're on do not break when somebody crashes into them. So they do pose a danger, actually, says Shoeless B in Syracuse. Thank you for that. We'll get to more of your feedback. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com, TIPS at thenewsjunkie.com. Sorry, I read that yesterday. I didn't mean to read that again.
I
liked it.
I read the thing about the flock cameras that we talked about yesterday, and yeah, I get that. There's a certain standard of breakability that has to happen for road signs, for things that are too close to the car. Yeah, I think what was annoying me about it was like the story made it sound like they would cause more crashes, and I'm like, that's just not a thing, unless there's like big mirrors on top of them that are like reflecting sun in people's faces. They're not causing crashes; they're just causing more damage if you crash into them, which is a bad thing. But while we're trying to pick every little thing we can hate about the flock cameras, they're really going on on the offensive for everything, and this just seems like kind of a fringe thing to be pissed at.
I think we might be in agreement here, C-Lane, because where we're at on the flock cameras, I think, is everybody got their torches out and everybody was like, these things are outrageous and is violating our Fourth Amendment rights. And there was some like legitimate concerns right off the jump. It kind of turned into the data center thing too, where in the midst of all the legitimate gripes and concerns, then all of a sudden people bring up in the back, and this too. And I go, well, I don't know. That doesn't seem like it's as big of a deal.
They're taking away all our water.
Yeah, like you go, well, I don't know that I'm scared of the flock cameras because I'm going to crash into them and they're not going to break off. I'm much more worried about people being snooped on when they're not doing anything wrong and people abusing their power to search all the information, which is a lot that's captured by these flock cameras. And we've already seen that police officers have been caught doing that. So that's what I think the concern is. But people kind of spun out of control on it, and they're just, everything flock is bad. All right, we'll see what you think about all this. Send us your dispatches. And when we come back, excuse me, I apologize. I have a story that I cannot
that's my fault.
No, it's not yours. I have a story that I cannot put near any sort of possible eating hour, so I'm gonna kick that down the road. I want to tell you something about Spider-Man this weekend that's nuts, but there's a TSA story that we have to talk about next, and I may be totally wrong on this. I'm going to say some things when we come back, and they may be insane, but we'll see how it goes with this TSA story. That's hello. Stand by, everybody. See, Lance doing 8 here. He'll do it anyways. This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. And now, all right, everybody, question for you. Progressive Insurance. Here it is. You can save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. That's it. See? It's the good old-fashioned straightforward ad. Here we go. A question is going viral all across social media. It's a very stupid question, but I still want to ask it. All right? It's a very stupid question, but I still want to ask it. Is that okay? I'm going to do it anyway. Here's the deal. Would you rather have, you have two choices. Would you rather have $1 million right now? Or $50 per pickle that you eat for the rest of your life? Would you rather have $1 million right now or $50 for every pickle that you eat for the rest of your life? Which one is the better financial decision? $1 million now or every single pickle you eat for the rest of your life, I give you $50. Choose wisely. I'll take the million, please. Define pickle. You know what a pickle is. You either get $1 million, here's your money, here's a lump sum, or $50 for every pickle you eat. Now let's do a little math here. 10 pickles, $500, 100 pickles, $5,000. You could easily eat 100 pickles a month and make $5,000 a month, which is a reasonable income. That's only for 100 pickles. That's 3 pickles a day. 3 pickles a day. Let's say you double that. 6 pickles a day is going to make you $10,000 a month or over $100,000 a year. In 10 years, you're cleared past the $1 million on only 6 pickles per day. The correct answer is I want $50 for every pickle I eat for the rest of my life, without a shadow of a doubt. If you could eat 100 pickles a day, and I think you could, let's do the math on this, because the math is going to start to spiral. Let's get a little assistance. Are you there? Hello? Hello?
Dead there.
What'd you say?
Hi. I just said, hey.
Okay.
What's up?
If you make $50 per pickle and you eat that's too much. If you eat 100 pickles a day, how much do you make a year?
All right, let's do it. $50 per pickle times 100 pickles a day. That's $5,000 a day. Over a year, 365 days. That's $1.825 million. Quite a briny business.
1.8 mil a year if you eat 100 pickles a day. That's a better option. That's a better option. You guys are crazy saying you just take the million. You're just wrong. What are the health implications, though? Stand by.
.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com.
Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Today is Mo Better with Josh Fowler, courtesy of Just Call Mo, Orlando's injury attorneys.
Radio.
Dispensing unsolicited advice on a wide range of pointless topics.
I'll get into this TSA story that's crazy, and I'm probably going to say some crazy things about it momentarily. Stand by for all of that and more. Learn more about the show over at thenewsjunkie.com. This is the dumbest thing I've ever argued with Chad about in the history of the show. Legitimately, it is. I didn't even want to bring this up. Did not want to talk about this. But one of the distractions I saw this week, there's all this stuff going on around the world and all. I saw an argument online, and I thought, this is like such a no-brainer to me, but everybody seems to be going the other direction. I blame laziness, but I'll explain. There was a viral question that kicked all of this off. You have two options, all right? And I'll make them as simple and clear-cut as I can. C-Lane and Josh, tell me which of the options you take, and I'll tell you if you're right or wrong about this in your answer.
All right.
Option number one, $1 million. That's it. It's $1 million in a suitcase. It's tax-free. There it is. $1 million. Here you go. Congratulations. That's option number one. We're clear on that, right? $1 million.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Briefcase, no taxes. Option number one is $1 million. Option number two is $50 per pickle for the rest of your life. It is so obvious to me that $50 per pickle for the rest of your life is a better financial decision in absolutely every way. But everybody just wants the $1 million briefcase.
You get $50 every time you eat a pickle?
Every pickle you eat for the rest of your life. Every single one. And I know this would matter. Age would matter a little bit. Like if I'm 95 years old, just give me the $1 million, right? But to
get to $1 million, I have to eat 20,000 pickles.
Correct.
Yeah, but all you need to do is eat what? 100 pickles a day, right? 100 pickles a day? I could eat 100 pickles.
You'd be so swollen from the salt.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what the health implications are, but the money is endless.
If you eat 55 pickles a day for a year, you'll get to $1 million. But 55 pickles.
That's not that bad at all.
Yes, it is.
Why?
Unless you can do like handfuls of gherkins or something. Like, do we specify the size of the pickle?
A pickle is a pickle. It doesn't matter what you're like. If you want a big one, you want a little one, whatever you want to do, you just have to eat something that would be considered a pickle.
You would have to eat about 3.5 pickles every hour that you're awake.
That's fine. That's not that bad.
That's too much.
All
Your
right,
body will shut down.
Also, I hate to be pedantic here, shallow and pedantic.
Yeah, do it.
Sauerkraut is technically pickles. Mm-hmm. Does every individual shred of cabbage count as a singular pickle?
No, it doesn't.
I like how Josh is trying to hack this. This is great.
That's fine. You can do that. But let's just be clear about this. It has to be a pickle-shaped pickle. right? If it could be a little small one, that's fine. But it just has to be something we would all consider a pickle. We would all look at it and go, yep, that's a pickle.
It's got to be a cucumber is what you're saying.
Yes, it has to have derived from a cucumber. It could be smaller, whatever. That's totally fine. But it has to be a pickle. If you ate 3 of them an hour, 3 little pickles an hour, you're a millionaire? Are you kidding me?
You'd have to go the whole year.
Yes, and then for the rest of your life, you can. Once you've got the $1 million, then you could go, how much money do I want to make today? Do I want to make $100? Boop, 2 pickles. Do I want to make $5,000? Boop, 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 boop. You know, the possibilities are endless. I don't want to be Dave Ramsey here, but it's quite obvious that you guys are making bad financial decisions when you say I would just take the briefcase with $1 million and not take the unending well of Scrooge McDuck-like pickle money that you would get if you just chose to do a little extra work in eating the pickles every single day.
This is different from that push-up scenario that we had a month or so ago.
This is easy.
In that case, well, in the push-up scenario, you get jacked at the same time. In this case, your health is going to decline every year you make more pickle money.
Yeah. That's not true.
Yes,
I don't think that.
You're
No,
gonna spend
it doesn't. No.
You're going to spend all your pickle money on blood pressure medication.
Yes.
That doesn't have to be true. You can have a balanced diet and have that many pickles, and you just have to think about that and work on it a little bit, and then offset the amount of like salt or whatever it is you're taking in. And I think you could be fine and healthy. And then you would have the ability to just earn as much or as little as you want each day. Travel the world, eating little pickles, making money every single time. This isn't hard. This isn't rocket science. I don't understand why you guys wouldn't. Wait, let me ask you flat out. C-Lane, you take the briefcase with $1 million or the $50 a pickle for life?
If I could go gherkins, like little tiny pickles.
You can.
I might go with the $50, but the $1 million is really enticing.
Josh, do you take the suitcase with $1 million in it, cash, tax-free, or the pickles, $50 for the rest of your life for each one?
I'm taking $1 million cash and shrewdly investing.
Yeah, what happens if you take that? Your investment goes south, and then it implodes, and all of your money is gone. And now I'm popping back pickles, and I'm like, oh, Josh, must suck to be you.
Yeah,
I'm popping pickles and making
like
money.
President Taft walking down the street.
And I'll be rich.
At what cost?
There's no cost. I'm just making money. I will be. This is such a smarter move. I don't want to talk about this. I want to get to the TSA
Salt
story.
walrus.
Call me what you want. Say whatever slur you want.
It's a low-key great insult.
No, Mish, Josh is not the voice of reason
yes,
here.
I am.
The reason is on the side of picking up a job where eating pickles is your revenue maker. There's no better lot in life than that, like literally. And the only thing people are taking any issue with is because some of you are anti-picklites, and that's fine. I get it. But if I said like a Skittle, or if I said a shot of tequila, a lot of you people would be changing your minds right now.
Sure,
right?
for the tequila.
If I said every shot of tequila you get $50, you'd be like, all right, yeah. What a life to live. I'd do that. That's much more bad for you than the pickle deal. Now, who is this person offering this? I don't know. But I think it is a testament to your financial savviness.
Classic Vlasic.
It could be. It could be Vlasic. Big Pickle coming in on this. There's been a lot of discussion of this over the week, and people get very heated. But I think the answer is just to make that $50 a pop. And what I wanted to hear, the only reason I brought this up is because medical professionals tell us what the issue would be that would arise from this. Or could you offset all of the health implications of the pickle side of this deal if you just were smart about the other things that you ate?
Mike, I think it was Mike.
My power.
I think it was Mike in chat said they already asked ChatGPT about it, and the ChatGPT said you would die in 45 days.
Absolutely not. No shot. No, you would die from eating a couple of pickles every day?
It's
no
more
way.
than a couple.
How many did he say? Can you see what he said? I don't know.
That's all he said, 45 days.
45 days of what? 1 billion pickles? Yeah. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Anyways, you could join us on the show. I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. This is a smart decision. It's actually an easy decision. Okay. We'll see what you have to say about this. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. Tips, T-I-P-S, at thenewsjunkie.com. Or send your dispatches. Record those over at thenewsjunkie.com right now. The TSA story. This is the actual important story, not some stupid question, for God's sake. There's a minor
I don't
distraction.
really want to talk about this pickle thing 8 minutes later.
Weekend edition has to be filled with something, okay? Pickle banter works sometimes. People, they're at home right now. They're going, "No, I'll tell you what the right decision is." They're doing that right now. Okay, I have a quick question, and this may make me sound very stupid, but I'm still going to ask. Let me bring up this story in front of me. Do we have time, or should I wait until after the break to do this?
I mean, how long is it going to take? You're teasing that you have a lot of serious, crazy takes about this.
Oh, I made the pickle thing last 8 minutes, so I don't see this going by that fast.
Exactly.
I think let's take a very quick break, rapid fast break, right? When we come back, I'll tell you something that the TSA found that made me, I don't know, I have a lot of questions, and I don't know if I'm the crazy one here, but I'm going to ask those to everybody. We'll use all of our brains together. We have the info coming in about Nolan Wells and his autopsy and that big mystery. We have a whole bunch more to get to. The Spider-Man story, that's going to be massive at the box office this weekend. All of that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
You're all wrong. All of you are wrong. Except for my pickle people. Where are my pickle people at? Carlos says, Sean is wrong. Give me the mill. Steve says, slow news day. Steve, suck my balls. It's a slow news month. Let yourself have a little fun with Picklegate. Is Sean trying to unload pallets of pickles he bought on a pickle Ponzi scheme? Woo! That was a tough one. Oh, big thanks to the who just gifted subs. I saw that. Let's get a rally going. It's a Friday. The new Secret Show, which was excellent, will be dropping at 5 p.m. today. Big thanks to your girl D with the gifted subscription. Thank you, your girl D. Really appreciate the support. Your girl D. Let me make sure I get a mention for you. Your girl D or your girl D? This could go various ways. Juicy Secret Show last night. How about the ending on that one, Bootsy, huh? How about the ending on that Secret Show last night? That was fun. Seriously, Sean, have a pickle eating challenge on Secret Shows? I bet you can't get past 10. Maybe that's one of the problems. You're very, very wrong. Because I love pickles, cucumbers. When they're in season, which they aren't right now, I have cucumbers most days with my lunch. Sliced cucumbers. Courtney slices them up for me. I love them. But here's the problem. Never forget this. Never forget this. If there is an outbreak of warm weather in the United States, you just avoid pickles and you avoid cucumbers for at least, well, pickles aren't as bad, but you avoid cucumbers for like at least 2 or 3 weeks. From the time the cucumber is picked in the field to the time it ends up at your grocery store is about 3 to 4 days. From the farm to your grocery store, 3 to 4 days. If there is a huge rise in temperatures, the cucumbers release this chemical that makes the cucumbers taste terrible. They taste worse than soap. They taste like medicine. They're disgusting. They're inedible. So when we have a heat wave, stay away from the cucumbers for a couple of weeks because otherwise you're going to be like, these are terrible. What the hell is going on here? Little tidbit from me to you. 90 seconds and we're back live. $54 pickles a day for a whole year to make that first million? You're crazy? Sure, Bland. And then guess what? Every single pickle you make after that is profit. Every single pickle that you eat. And your job can just be eating a couple of pickles.
All right, stand by. We are coming back live on the show. See, dog, let's do a 12. Kevin knows what I'm talking about. Kevin! All right, stand by. We're coming back right now.
And longevity at LifeMD, along with other leading experts on the podcast Here's Something Good on Women's Health and Longevity. To learn more, go to lifemd.com.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Need help after an accident? Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bonus. 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 Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Occupying the space between high society and prison tattoos. This is the News Junkie.
Songs over and over. Hang out with us in the world's most viral newsroom. You never know what's happening out there. Learn more over on the website, thenewsjunkie.com. This may be stupid. I don't want to be stupid. I try to sound informed, and I usually know what I'm talking about on this show, but this is territory that's new territory for me. The TSA posted this story about something that they found, and everybody freaked out when they found it. And I said, if I was in that room and they discovered this when I was there, I wouldn't be freaked out. And I can't tell if they're dumb or if I'm dumb. Somebody's dumb, right? Somebody is dumb. Here's the story. Airport security officers in Alabama recently found something a lot older than your average seized items. They found 5 Civil War era cannonballs packed in a checked suitcase. So TSA officials at the Gulf Shores International Airport say a routine luggage scan revealed 2 grapefruit-sized balls and 3 smaller rusted spheres so dense the machine couldn't even see through them, prompting fears they might still be live. And somebody says, my first thought was I couldn't see a fuse and I needed to get some help really quick, said the TSA officer Justin Dupree. I couldn't see the entire item, but I was scared I might be holding a live explosive. And so they started looking into these and they go, holy cow, look, we found these Civil War era cannonballs. And they were panicking. They're running around like something's going to blow up. This is a catastrophe. Am I crazy? Isn't a cannonball just a ball?
Yeah.
I thought so.
It's like cast iron, I think.
Like, it wasn't a Civil War cannonball, literally just like a ball, and then you utilized explosives like gunpowder to fire the ball out of a cannon at, say, another ship or something to destroy things. But like a cannonball doesn't blow up, right?
No, it's pure destructive power is the force behind it.
Yes, well said, Josh.
Thank you.
That's what I thought. I was like, these people are running all over the place and freaking out because they think that they're in danger. And I said, maybe I'm the stupid one here, but I don't believe that a cannonball is an explosive thing. I think it's just a projectile more than anything. They said it was the most unique find of the TSA officer's career, but everybody was panicking and freaking out. as they found this at
It'd
this
be like,
airport.
Like having a bag of BBs, but no BB gun.
Right. Yeah, like less dangerous by far than a bullet. A bullet still has an inherent danger to it,
Yes.
right?
But
But a
there's gunpowder
cannonball,
inside it. It is an explosive, a small explosive.
like a cannonball sans cannon is not what I would consider to be a dangerous thing.
Apparently, there were some somewhere along the line that were hollow, and they would fill them with gunpowder and put a fuse in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it depends historically at what point in time it is, whether it's going to be an explosive or not.
Sure.
It was more dangerous at some point, I guess. The Civil War era cannonballs were found in this checked luggage. They just look like, I don't know, honestly, it looks like a meatball. It looks like I'm looking at a giant meatball here.
Of all the like Civil War era artifacts you could have, the cannonball does seem to be the most boring. Like
Yeah,
it's basically
it's
just
not a lot to it.
a big metal paperweight. And these were stolen. Does it say where they were stolen from?
I don't think so. Did it say they were stolen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in the headline.
Yeah. So it said after determining there were no explosive threat, the deputies questioned a woman and a boy traveling with her. They surrendered the items and continued on to Oklahoma City without charges. Investigators later linked the relics to nearby Fort Morgan, and the munitions have since been returned there. The boy stole the cannonballs from the fort and put them in his grandma's bag, the Associated Press reports. The woman said she didn't know they were stolen, and authorities at the site, which is operated by the Alabama Historical Commission, declined to press charges. They should have put him in jail for stealing these damn things.
Why is it so easy to steal a Civil War cannonball?
Maybe there's just piles of them, like
Alabama.
all over. Yeah, I've heard of people trying to steal the skulls from the catacombs. Like people will go to these historic sites and steal stuff. There was a guy on 4chan who I think one time had a stolen skull from the catacombs, and then he asked everybody on the website what he should do with it, and they proceeded to tell him to do exactly what you're thinking they would tell him to do with it. And
bang it?
well, yeah, so 5 seconds to get to that point. Yeah,
I'm considering the source here. This is 4chan.
Yeah,
People
right.
are animals.
Although I do like how the grandma was like, I didn't know they were stolen. Grandma, he put a massive cannonball in your bag, and he's like, put it in your purse. Put it in your purse. And you didn't think for a moment that might not be your grandsons or your sons or whatever. I don't know what's happening here, but I wouldn't have been scared of this. Maybe you would have. Let us know what you think. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. The movie that's not just going to be big, but going to be massive this weekend. Some of the numbers I'm hearing about Spider-Man are so crazy. I had to have Courtney check. I said, Courtney, fire up your phone and start looking at Fandango and the different theaters around us and see if Spider-Man really is going to be this big at the box office this weekend. They're saying it could do $375 million at the box office this weekend. Look what the record is. What's the total? The first weekend total record? It's got to be close to that because there's some idea that maybe it could break that even for an opening. $375 million. The new Spider-Man movie might make.
Yeah, that's big. Avengers Endgame has the top opening weekend domestic for $357.1 million.
So it could be the biggest movie opening weekend in the United States of all time.
Man, Avengers Endgame did $1.2 billion worldwide in its first weekend.
Oh, in one weekend?
Yes.
Holy cow. Yeah. Now, they're saying that Spider-Man could do those kind of numbers. The new Spider-Man movie is on track to be that big of a runaway hit at the box office.
Why this one? I mean, there's been a handful of these Spider-Man movies. Why is this one the one that everybody's going crazy over?
I don't know. I don't know. So maybe somebody saw this and they'll give us a heads up with a dispatch or an email.
A friend of mine already posted on Facebook this morning. He's like, I saw Spider-Man last night, and it's the best Spider-Man movie of all time.
Did he say why? Is it like more exciting? Is there like a surprise in it? Do we get like a new face-off with a villain? There's got to be something there.
I think it's been 5 years since the last one, so that generates some interest.
Plus, people are liking that. What's the actor's name again?
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. People are liking Tom Holland right now, for sure.
Bangers for him.
I know. The
Tom
Odyssey.
Holland. Was Mark Ruffalo in the other ones?
He's the Hulk in the Avengers movies.
Yeah, I know, but he's in this one.
Is
or
he?
at
He's
least,
in the
or at least
Spider-Man
I
one?
should at least say, because a lot of people came at me earlier in the week, he's on the IMDb page for it.
Okay.
Because people came at me, they were like, Aunt May died in the last one. They killed off Aunt May in the last one. I'm like, she's on the IMDb page, so maybe there's going to be some flashbacks.
Yeah.
Like they did with old Uncle Ben back in the day.
Did the Spider fans come after you? Did you get like a Spider-Man whiplash from the
I got
fan club?
caught up in their web.
I don't want to get caught up in that web, but I do want to tell you it looks like it's going to be a massive sensation this weekend. For those of you who have seen it, let us know what you think. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. All right, let's see here. A couple of people who are chiming in on the show. I don't want to talk about the pickle thing. There's so many dispatches about the pickle thing. I do not want to talk about that. Let's try something else first. Here's Laying Down the Law, talking about the cannonball.
Good morning, News Junkies, and happy Aloha Friday.
You too. Saturday,
Everything
Sunday.
that I know about cannonballs, I've learned from watching Bugs Bunny cartoons. And if you've watched those, you would know there is a fuse that you can light, and then it goes kaboom. So I don't blame that guy at all at TSA for being a little freaked out and cautious, especially if he noticed a Wesley Webb hanging around. Wiggle, wiggle, pop, pop.
Okay.
Thank
agree.
you.
All right. She's not wrong, actually. She's not wrong what she's saying. You do remember from the cartoons, like the bomb would have a
But that was a
thing.
bomb.
Yeah, not a cannonball. A cannonball, you just stuff in there, and then that's why you can have a human cannonball, because you could put like some guy in there and fire him off at a net or something. It's the same kind of thing. But you knew that. Here is here's Daddy Two Times with a dispatch.
Man, getting paid to eat something you love sounds awesome, and I love me some pickles. However, I don't love all the sodium that comes with them, because with that comes an increased chance of heart disease, heart attack, all that kind of stuff. So I gotta find another way to get the money and avoid death by pickle.
Death by pickle sounds so horrific. This was, by the way, if you're just tuning in, I apologize. I did not want this to continue. This was the viral question of the week. Would you rather have $1 million instantly in a briefcase, or you get paid $50 for every pickle you eat for the rest of your life? And all I said, which I don't think is controversial at all, was that I think the $50 per pickle option is a smarter financial decision, because you can make, if you have a lot of life left, you can make a much more significant amount of money. It's an endless well. You can have so much money that you could have like a professional doctor like monitoring your levels to make sure that you're healthy through the process and whatnot. So I don't want to get stuck on that, but there you are. Here's another one on same topic. Here's Chaos.
All right, Sean, you're completely wrong on this. Okay.
Why?
You're dumb, stupid. I would even say retarded. 100 pickles a day is like 70 to 120,000 milligrams of sodium a day, which the recommended amount for humans at max is 1,200 a day. Not only are you dumb for doing that, you're better off putting that $1 million into the S&P 500.
Good luck
for the rest of your life, because with this pickle thing, you're living at max a day. So you're not really making that much money, and don't use Dave Ramsey, okay? Caleb Hammer is 10 times better, and he has the highest rated.
This is your focus?
Financial people. Wiggle, wiggle, pop, pop.
That's your focus on all of this. I stand by what I said. I stand by everything that I said, and I don't want to talk about this anymore. I want to move on. We've got millions of things.
How many pickles?
That's Caleb Hammer.
Is his voice that high?
You're spending how much on DoorDash with your pickle money?
He's always yelling at some woman with a nose ring and bad financial sense. That's what I know of Caleb Hammer. He's always like, wait, what? And DoorDash is always involved. I think even he would support this, though. All right? I think even he would support this idea. It's just endless sources of money versus limited sources of money. And I'm surprised C-Lane doesn't come along for the ride, because he's the one who would take the option in the lottery of having a payment for the rest of your life, because that's nice stability. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, we got a lot of people talking about Spider-Man and various different things. whatever you saw this week that stood out the most that you want to hear us talk about is fine. Tips@thenewsjunkie.com or send a dispatch on the website right now. Quick break. When we come back, we've got, I still have to take that. There's one story that I got to push down. It's interesting, but I got to push it on down so we can keep some distance between it and the food that you might be eating. I will not spring that on you. Also, a docu-series that people are going to be watching this weekend. Some thoughts on that. The Nolan Wells Autopsy. And when we come back, the worst weight loss plan I've ever heard in my life has just dropped. Do not attempt this at all costs. Please stay away from this. And you need to know what it's all about because that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Stand by, Skull Mike Squad. Quick Mills Air live read. And then we're going to be chit-chatting. I got a diet question for you. But I got a bigger question about this docu-series. Don't screw up the live read, Sean. Don't screw it up. All right, here we go.
At the canning.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
Folks, you never know what the weather's going to look like because it's currently raining, I think, right now. And the high today in the 90s. So back and forth, puts your air conditioning at your house under a lot of pressure. And when it comes to your house, it's probably the biggest investment that you have. Take care of it. Little things that you let go can build up over time, and then this insurmountable list of things you have to fix builds. Do not get trapped behind that. Know that you have Mills Air, a locally owned and operated, family owned and operated, and honest and fair company to help you out and get the AC working right. Then next thing you know, you're curled up on the couch, you're comfortable during that rainstorm, and the AC is working the way it's supposed to, efficiently. You need Mills Air to save you from your AC troubles. They've been doing this for well over 30 years. They're a Carrier factory authorized dealer, and they are one phone call away. Call them, 407-277-1159. That's 407-277-1159. Or find them online at millsair.com.
All right, here we are. By the way, YouTube, did you even get to 200 likes yesterday? I told you that if the stream didn't get 200 likes, we were done streaming on YouTube. Don't make a liar out of me. Hold on. Oh, it got over 200. Okay, good. Hello?
It rained on me.
I know, I hear it pouring out there. You got stuck in that?
I just ran through it. An older couple did a little beep.
Yeah.
And then the lady was like, lady, come on.
You know, see? You're not
She
kidding.
was trying to hand me an umbrella, which was super
Oh,
sweet.
that's nice.
It was right around the corner, though, so I was just like, I'm right over there.
She was just going to give you an umbrella?
Yeah, it looked like one of those 7-Eleven ones, but it's still very sweet.
Buddy, I cannot give you a treat.
Lady, you're going to get fat.
Would you take $1 million or $50 for every pickle you eat for the rest of your life?
$50 for every pickle I eat? for
Yes.
the rest of my life? That's tough. I like pickles.
Every single pickle you eat, you get $50. Or you get $1 million, and that's that.
How many 50s are in a million?
I don't know.
Math.
Well, there's $1 million. So divided
Ask
by
your
50.
AI.
Hang on. 200,000? No, 20,000. 20,000. It's 20,000.
That's a lot of pickles.
I know it's a lot of pickles.
I think I'd just take $1 million, so I wouldn't have to worry about pickle eating.
Wow.
I'd probably get some kind of illness from it.
Wow. I would have taken the pickles. Lady, I'm sorry, buddy. I can't
That's
give you a
what she
treat.
said.
Huh?
That's what she said.
Get out of here. Get out of here with your pickle jokes and your dog. Go on. Get out of here. Bye.
You know what she's doing in her head?
What? She's probably flicking me off, yeah. Yeah, I had it coming. Can't be giving her a treat. No. Chat, do not demand a treat for ladies. She cannot have a treat every single time she comes into the studio. How many of you watched the Idaho Murders on Netflix, the Brian Kohlberger documentary? We talked about this the other day. Did anybody watch it or no? Here's my question for you. Brian Kohlberger murdered these 3 girls and this young guy, all 21 and 20 years old. Murdered them right around 4:20 in the morning. At 6:17 a.m., he called his mother and talked to her for 36 minutes. Then Brian Kohlberger called his mother again at 8 a.m., and then he talked to her another time at 5:53 p.m. for 96 minutes. The day after the murder, Brian Kohlberger talked to his mother over an hour and a half on the phone. Do you think the mom knew? Do you think he told his mom after he did this? Because I think he told his mom. Who the hell calls their mom at 6 o'clock in the morning and talks for that long and then talks to their mother for 90 minutes a day? 100% he confessed to his mother, and his mother and father knew and tried to cover up for him and get him out of town after he murdered 4 people, right? Like, doesn't that seem kind of obvious? Like, never heard what his motive was? He was a social outcast and a psychopath and talked about having like no feelings about everything, but he was thoroughly interested in criminal psychology and was in a class where they were learning about serial killers, and he wanted to make himself into one of these infamous characters. And so that's why he did it. That's what my theory at least is, but that's crazy. Fang Frigatastic says, my husband talks to his mother for at least an hour every damn day, sometimes multiple times a day. Are you serious? That's crazy to me. We got to talk about this. That's very bizarre. Stand by. Okay, here we go.
No periods, no surprise charges. We make money from our advertisers, not from you. It's the same radio you've never paid for. Live radio stations, playlists, podcasts, and artist stations, all in one app. So if you haven't already, download the free iHeartRadio app. Free radio. Always has been, always will be. Now wherever you go.
iHeartRadio. For all your plumbing needs, go to modernpi.com.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bonus. 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 Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Because the newspapers don't come with cliff notes or potentially offensive accents.
You guys think this is normal? I think it's strange. We'll get into the details here. Learn more about the show. Get the podcast, which is free for you to subscribe to over at thenewsjunkie.com. Now, I don't know if anybody's watched this new Netflix series, the docuseries. A lot of people will watch this weekend, I'm sure. It's called The Idaho Murders College Nightmare, and it's about Brian Kohlberger, who is this guy who killed these 3 young women and this young man. They were all 20, 21 years old, and they were in the prime of their life, living up college life, doing their thing. And they came back after being at the club all night, and he pops up into their place. It's a 3-story place. They were all sharing like a party house. And he goes systematically from room to room, and he kills 4 people. Now, the word is that Brian Koberger committed these murders because he was really introduced in like criminal psychology. He was really interested in criminal psychology. He was taking a college course on it at that time. He was a psychopath, was writing online about how he had no feelings, and he sort of wanted to be infamous like these people he was obsessing over who were serial killers. So he killed these 4 people. Here's the question I have, right? Now that I've got that whole setup out of the way. One of the stories that I saw made me think there's more to all of this. An expert examined his phone and his hard drive, and they found that after Brian Koberger committed these murders at 4:20 a.m., remember this, 4:20 in the morning, he commits these murders. He calls his mother at 6:17 a.m., and talks for 36 minutes on the phone. Then he calls his mother again at 8 a.m., and then he calls his mother later on that afternoon at 5:53 p.m. In total, he spent more than 3 hours on the phone with his mother that day. Knowing just that tidbit, isn't it kind of obvious that like he was confessing to his mother and his parents what he had done afterwards? But like, who calls your mom at 6:17 in the morning? That's abnormal behavior. Talking to your mother for an hour and 3 hours in a day like that. There's no way that the parents weren't informed about what he was doing after that. I know, Celine, you talk to your mom quite often. You're not spending 3 hours on the phone with your mom.
No, would run out of stuff to talk about very quickly.
Unless you were talking about a murder you just committed.
Even
right?
then.
even if, right? Like, somebody said, my husband is always on the phone, or I forgot what they said, but something like that. A family member is always on the phone with their mother, and their husband spends like an hour and a half every day on the phone with their mother. I'm like, that's bizarre. That's not a normal thing to be talking to your parent when you're a grown adult for that long per day. That says to me, like so many of these other situations, the child confessed to the parents and the parents were involved in the cover-up. There are other examples of this happening. Remember the Gabby Petito thing?
Yeah.
Gabby Petito goes missing. Brian Laundrie killed her with his bare hands and then threw her body out and then went back and confessed to his parents. And his parents tried to cover up for him. His parents tried to keep him safe in the house. His parents, in some way, were aware of what he had done and actively involved in helping him in ways to avoid any kind of punishment for this. What was, Celine, see if you could find this real quick. There was just a case where they sentenced a parent where their child committed, I think, maybe a school shooting, too. Like, the parents are getting involved in these things. Or afterwards, the people are calling and telling their parents. The story, as I recall it, that the father just got sentenced for, the mother got sentenced for. I'm not sure.
It was
Which
the
one
father,
was it?
Colin Gray, the father of Georgia school shooter, sentenced to 15 years in prison.
Okay, and from what I heard, there was jailhouse phone calls where the mom was talking, and the son said after the school shooting, he said, "Have you set up a shrine for me at the house yet?" And they were talking about and like laughing about the school shooting that had taken place. The parents, like, how crazy is this, are getting involved in the cover up of this. And so I asked you a question. I know we've talked about this previously on the show at some point in time. But if your kid came to you, it's 6-something in the morning, and your kid goes, "I just killed a couple of people," is your instinct going to be, okay, that's already done, nothing I can do about it, let me try to help them and let me try to keep them out of prison for the rest of their life? Or is your instinct, you have done a terribly wrong thing, you have committed a crime, you have murdered these people, and you need to go turn yourself in right now? Because those are very different options. Like, if Dylan called me and was like, "I just murdered 4 people," I would be like, "You need to turn yourself into the police." I'm sorry. I just think that's the right thing morally to do in that moment. But these people, these parents aren't doing this. And it seems really clear. Like, there's no way you talked just a couple hours after you massacred 4 people with your mother, and you're not discussing that. There's no way. No way. You don't call your mom at 6-something in the morning. Just nobody does that. And if you do, you're talking to her for 36 minutes. You have 3 hours of phone conversations over the course of that day. It's very, very strange behavior. Cosidia says, depends on what kid over on chat. I'm telling you, like, Angie says, I'm calling the police. Like, I wouldn't want to. This is your blood. This is your child. I wouldn't want to turn my child in. But when you start getting involved in it, you're now a criminal too. And the parents should be arrested. And the parents should be roped into this. And the father got, how long did you say? 12 years or something?
15.
15 years?
Good.
Yeah, I mean, I think they should. I can't imagine. I don't want to put that on you, Celine, but if you could have, like, down the road, if Jackson calls you and he's like, I just killed some people, there's only 2 choices. You help them cover it up, or you turn them in.
I'm not helping him cover it up.
You help Jackson bury body.
No.
Yeah, Jackson's going to demand it. He's going to demand it. But some parents are actually doing this. And that is just crazy to me. And they'll pitch it as if they're doing something because they love their kid. They're like, this is my son, and he called me in a time of need. And, through good or bad, I need to stand up for this person.
And if my wife tried to help Jackson cover it up, or even entertained the idea of not calling the police, I would say, I want you to think very clearly about every time young Jackson picked up that effing ball pit and dumped every single ball all over the floor for us to pick up.
Is that what he's up to?
You call 911 right now.
Time to turn him in, man.
Yes.
I hate to say it, but that's the right thing as far as I can tell to do in that moment. But it's not always the case that that's what people are doing. Let us know what you would do. And or maybe you've even had to make some tough decisions like this. Go over to the website, record your reaction as what we call a dispatch. Record that at thenewsjunkie.com, or email. If you want to be anonymous, put that right up on top to your email, which is tips, TIPS, at thenewsjunkie.com. eFresh Rock says, well, who did they kill? I mean, that does matter. I'm not going to say it doesn't. Yeah, like if there was somebody who was torturing my son for his whole life and it was a monster and who I hated, and he's like, I finally snapped and killed him, that would be different. That would be far different than if he came to me and said, I murdered 4 random people because I wanted to get the thrill of it. And I'd be like, no, you're a monster. You have to go to jail. And sometimes the kids will be like, how can you do this?
So if he killed his bully, then you would help him cover it up?
I would not help him cover it up. No. But I would not call the police in that case. If there was a reason and a motivation that made sense to me. But if it was random and it was like that, or if it was like the Brian Laundrie thing where he says, well, I just got in a fight with her and I choked her out and I killed her on accident. I don't care. That person didn't have that coming. It would have to be something where I could convince myself, like, yeah, this person deserved whatever the outcome was. Okay, there are also, stay away from this. I cannot believe that anybody's doing this. In fact, I hope they're not. But this is a story here that's popping up and getting some attention. This is from Fox8.com, and they're convinced this is real. Let's see if you think it is. They say an outbreak of disease-causing parasite Cyclospora has infected thousands of Americans from coast to coast. And it also has given rise to a dangerous new trend that people are calling Cyclospora skinny. Okay? There's no shot, right? Dr. Deval Desai,
it works.
Pediatric physician and internal medicine doctor, was talking about this trend. This is a concerning trend. We've been talking about Cyclospora for weeks. It's a problematic bug that can cause persistent diarrhea, abdominal cramping, and feeling very uncomfortable. It's not something you would want. It appears that some social media influencers are talking about losing weight by getting Cyclospora on purpose so they can drop pounds quicker. The doc says it's not a good way to burn weight and will make people feel worse. Getting ill from Cyclospora is not burning fat. It's your body in a stress state, losing fluid, electrolytes, protein, all in a way that's going to make you even sicker. Most of the weight loss comes from dehydration. The idea that they have to talk about this seriously is like, I mean, somebody out there is like, I will I would like to get some Cyclospora.
Remember when they had to tell everybody not to eat Tide Pods?
Yeah,
they had to tell people not to eat Tide Pods. You think that this is crazy that they have to tell people that, like, hey, I know you've heard on TV that people are getting so sick from Cyclospora that they're losing a bunch of weight.
That's crazy.
That is not an invitation to go, hey, maybe if we just throw a couple salads down and cross our fingers, we'll get the poo diet.
Well, people did this. I know it was a joke in the office, but people do this with what was the worms?
Oh, Kelly had a tapeworm.
Tapeworms. Like people would swallow a tapeworm.
That wasn't a tapeworm.
they would swallow a tapeworm, and the tapeworm would like eat the food, and there's some kind of weight loss plan. I know people at least talked about doing that, but this is stupid. Nobody should be doing this. I hope nobody is doing this.
By the way, if you're avoiding lettuce and trying not to get sick from Cyclospora, the other new worry right now is there's a frozen berry, blueberry or mixed berry recall for E. coli in like a handful of states: Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Virginia. There's a bunch of Publix frozen berries that they're saying don't do it.
Yeah, it's Greenwise, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Greenwise. Publix is their like in-house brand.
It's the organic, I think, brand. All the Greenwise stuff is organic. So I would have no concern for buying it because I don't buy organic stuff. But yeah, the whole blueberries 10 ounce or 48 ounce, and then whole mixed berries 10 ounce or 48 ounce, the frozen ones, those are not so good.
I mean, I know that there's things like this that happen, and this sounds crazy, but I remember reading a couple of articles back in the day about people who that consider themselves bug chasers.
And they're having a blueberry salad right now, just blueberries and lettuce.
I know it was heavily tied to AIDS.
Yes.
But Josh, see if there's a wiki on bug chasers. Is there they're big enough that they got
There's got to be, right?
I remember that at that time there were people
Please
in the
Clap
gay
has
community.
its own wiki, so let's go.
This should have one, right?
Yeah, bug chasing on Wikipedia is the practice of intentionally seeking human immunodeficiency virus infection through sexual activity.
Right. Like they would try to get it on purpose. Does it say what the reasons were? Like maybe they wanted
to have a benefit concert with Elton John.
I don't know what the motivation is for any of this stuff. Like
it was the sexual excitement at potentially doing something so dangerous. The shared sense of community with not just but HIV positive people and suicidality.
Really? So some people are just like, this is how I'm going to take myself out. That's so crazy. So people will infect themselves with this stuff. There are people who will do that, but do not try to get Cyclospora. There's a lot of better ideas out there. Just get the jab or something, for God's sake. All right, quick break. When we come back, we got the hot sheet on the way. We have a global exclusive interview. Unbelievable. That is incoming on the show. We'll see what you think about that when it goes down, and a whole lot more on the way. And it's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by MyEternalVitality.com and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 8 p.m., it's the Orlando Shine Show with Brendan and the Bus. At 9, we all find out what the hell is Angel listening to. Tonight on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your Central Florida forecast. And for today, we're tracking additional rounds of heavy rain, downpours, and thunderstorms. Plan for around a 60 to 70% chance of rain.
Hello. Welcome to the show. Stand by. I got to put a little water in here. Hey. Okay, stand by. Okay. "90 seconds, we're back live. YouTube, hit that like button. Hot sheet coming up. Going to see the Odyssey for the second time? Damn, going back, huh? Going back for another round. One minute. Just got back from Culver's. They have a pickle burger. Don't know what it's on it. Didn't ask. I'll tell you something. Culver's, the fan base for Culver's is very dedicated. You start a conversation about the best burgers in town or the best burgers you can get, and the Culver's fans come out of the woodwork, man. They love it. Heavy Metal Cowboy, let's get those numbers up, huh? Let's get those numbers up. We're coming back right now.
Upgrade. They'll guide you every step, answering your questions. Shop today and save big during the best sale of the year. They make sleep easy.
What if we told you Matt Damon was screaming on set to get his voice weather-worn for the Odyssey? From the TikTok Podcast Network, Raiders of the Lost Podcast has the whole story about the biggest movies of the summer. Download the iHeartRadio app and search Raiders of the Lost Podcast now.
This portion of the News Junkie is brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote with that mortgage guy, Don.com.
Today is Mo Betta with Josh Fowler, courtesy of Just Call Mo, Orlando's injury attorneys.
Radio.
Because the newspapers don't come with cliff notes or potentially offensive accents.
So good to see you. So good to have you with us. We got a lot on the way today. Busy show, and you can be part of it. All you have to do is send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. All right. Before we get into the hot sheet, just to follow up on what I was talking about, I do find this so crazy, and it was interesting to have this case this week where the parent of this kid who committed a mass shooting incident was like kind of helping them out and was assisting them. That the person ended up getting 12 years. And I just see more and more of these things where the kids will do something horrible and then reach out to the parents, and the parents' instinct isn't always, you can make some sense out of this. Their instinct isn't always like, okay, you got to go to the police. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is like the guy who shot and killed Charlie Kirk. When his parents figured out that he was the shooter and they were like, oh, we know what's going on here. They said, you need to call the cops right now. And he did it. They turned him in, they were part and parcel of turning him in. In the Brian Laundrie case, the parents were never charged. They didn't ever face any charges.
Right.
But to me, it really looked like they were doing their best to assist their son instead of worrying about the person that he killed. And
But
as I recall, I think he called them, was like, "Hey, Gabby's dead," and they lawyered up. They got an attorney. They stopped talking to Gabby Petito's family. Like they rallied around and sort of circled the wagon, as they said.
In the Brian Laundrie case, though, I think it was kind of known in real time that he either snuck out of his mother's house or his mother may have helped him in some way. Like, we kind of knew as it was happening, before we found the body, before, all the questions were answered, that the parents, we kind of knew something. We didn't know anything about these phone calls from Kohberger.
No,
at least I hadn't heard of that. That wasn't reported on.
No, and who knows what they talked about. It's very possible that Brian Kohberger's family called and they had an innocuous conversation, but that doesn't seem likely to me. 3 hours on the phone, 6 a.m., right? 2 hours after you do these things. When somebody reaches out in those moments, it seems to me they're desperate and they're asking their family if they'll support them, even though they've done something bad. And, that's what I see in that situation. Kohberger's family has not been charged with anything. As far as I know, Brian Laundrie's family has not been charged with anything. But you can see what's going on there. Like, you could see that a call came in and the family decided to side with family, or at least that's what it looks like. Here we go. Let's do the hot sheets.
Check the hot sheet. It's news, but not like real important news.
Best investigator reporting on the planet.
The top stories from the people on your screens and speakers are on the hot sheet with C-Lane.
That's right. The top 5 stories in the nonsense news brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don. And we start with Tony Romo, who will probably have some more time on his hands to visit Grandma and Grandpa, because CBS Sports says the former quarterback is on leave until further notice from his TV gig. The update just 1 week after Romo was arrested in Wisconsin after officers suspected him of driving drunk behind the wheel. The NFL season kicks off in September. It's unclear if Romo, who joined CBS as the lead analyst in 2017, will return from his leave before week 1. Would that even be a leave? I mean, what does he have duties? Does he have lead analyst duties before the football games actually start?
We're suspending you from all of the preseason stuff, whether you like it or not.
How terrible. The network enlisted future Hall of Famer J.J. Watt to replace the former Dallas Cowboys star in his absence. Romo refused to take a breathalyzer test, claiming he was often told by lawyers to never submit to one. He's at risk of losing his license for a year as a result. Now, over to somewhere we don't go often in the hot sheet. Beautiful South Korea.
All right, let's do it.
Because move over Love on the Spectrum, they have a new dating show in South Korea that is kind of dark. However, grain of salt here, I do think these people deserve love.
What's the twist? Who are they? Murderers or something?
North Koreans.
Cross-border love, little Kim Jong-uns.
North Korean, South Korean, and Jenny Gray again. SBS's new reality dating show. That is a very, very random pull, if anybody knows it. SBS's new reality dating show, Love Against Time, features contestants in their 20s and 30s who have received terminal diagnosis.
Oh my God.
In the past, or experienced life-threatening illnesses. It is drawing scrutiny over the ethics of turning such deeply personal experiences to entertainment ahead of its August premiere.
Wow.
That's set to premiere the series August 3rd. Details about how the format will unfold remain under wraps, but the network has revealed one of its central mechanics. Each night, the cast members will exchange a self-determined amount of their limited time with one another as a way of developing romantic connections.
Wow.
So
I'll tell you. So recently I saw something. I'm only vaguely familiar with the talk show. There's a show, I think they're on satellite radio, that used to be Ron and Fez. And they came from like Ron and Ron or something.
Correct.
But that's before my time. I don't really know that talk radio, know those guys. But I guess the Ron guy from this talk show, Ron and Fez, he's got cancer and they think it might be terminal. And he started posting, because I know some people that are close to him. He started posting interviews where he's had all these comedians that are friends of his come into the hospital, and he's all connected to the machines and stuff, and they're doing podcasts.
Oh, I saw that. It's pretty funny.
And I will tell you, I don't know anything about his stuff or anything, but him talking to Shane Gillis. Shane Gillis was in the hospital. This guy's dying of cancer, this Ron guy, the host. And he's talking with Shane Gillis.
Ron
and you
Bennington.
could tell Ron Bennington. And you could tell Shane Gillis is like laughing along and making jokes, but he's got like tears coming out of his eyes. And it was interesting because of the fact that this person might not be here much longer. And that's the element of the TV show that would be interesting too, I guess.
The show's official teasers, feature cast members opening up about their experiences, some saying they've had limited opportunities to date because potential partners are reluctant to be with someone who has been seriously ill. Others describe romance as something they once considered a luxury they could not afford. The show is directed by Lee Eun-sol, who previously helmed Fortune Teller's Love, a reality dating show that brought together Gen Z fortune tellers and oracles in search of romance.
That's so specific.
This guy's like, I got an idea. Another one.
This guy gets green lights. Just like, keep them coming. Fortune Teller's Love was a hit. What do you got next? People are dying. Green light.
This is like you pull the lever and then the thing spins around. It's like, okay, dating show, fortune tellers,
Yes.
Gen Z.
Okay. Remember the episode of South Park where Stan thought that all the new music sounded like poop?
I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they have a new, they're calling it a genre, but putting in quotes, that's making a splash online. I sent you a link to pull up this article, Sean, because there's a video of it. But they're calling it, somebody on Twitter, won the day on this one, has coined it UK poo. It's a genre of music growing on TikTok that this user, Cashiam, says, I like to call it UK poo. The unifying themes seem to be awkward flows. These are like little rap songs that people post. Awkward flows, blunt or barely rhyming lyrics, DIY visuals, and an unmistakably British aesthetic.
Where'd you send this to me?
On your text.
Oh,
text,
okay, I see it.
Our text thread.
Yep, I see it right here.
And it's just a bunch of these TikTok videos with music that just kind of sucks. But they say there's a very British charm to it.
Can we try one of these?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, let's do that one.
Okay, this one right here. This is supposed to be UK poo?
Yeah, keep your ears open because I don't think she curses, but...
Looking
in my eyes while I listen to your lies. This love only be blind. I was really by your side. Yeah. Late nights chilling in the bando, baby. I ain't really been home lately. He trying to say that he can save me.
That's
terrible.
Terrible. It's kind of just what Drake sounds like.
It sounds like AI has tried to turn them into a music star.
It says, to make a UK poo video, it should scream British right away, which that one kind of does.
It did.
It needs to be filmed on an iPhone, preferably outside of a corner shop or your local pub. And if you can get on a Lime bike or get some Nike Tech Fleece in there, great. There also needs to be a microaggressive aesthetic to the whole video, and the topic you're singing about has to be a little outrageous. That's what's trending in UK on TikTok right now. Also across the pond, the father of British music sensation Amy Winehouse has been ordered to pay £950,000 or $1.26 million to some friends of his late daughter, who he unsuccessfully sued for auctioning the singer's clothes and other items. Mitch Winehouse earlier this year lost a case in the High Court in London against two of Winehouse's friends who auctioned dozens of her clothes and other possessions years after her death. The late singer's former stylist Naomi Perry and her friend Catriona Gourlay denied acting dishonestly in auctioning the items. They said were given or lent to them. He sued him, said they were taking advantage of his daughter, all that stuff, and he ended up losing in court, which is awkward. Has to pay them out $1 million. And last but not least, I don't know if this is Blue Dot Fever or what, but Northwest, the daughter of Kim and Kanye, has pulled the plug on 2 of her upcoming tour dates. Had no clue she was even on a tour. Days before she was scheduled to hit the stage, North was set for her first performance on August 5th with rapper Molly Santana in Dallas, Texas, but according to Ticketmaster, the show is canceled, and the official website promoting the artist tour has apparently been scrubbed from the internet. They do have one show that's still scheduled on August 25th in San Francisco, and it's still listed on the venue's website for now. Is there like a draw to see Northwest? Like, is she getting play on the radio?
She's been touring with her dad, so maybe some people have heard that. I don't know, but clearly not enough.
If you go to see Kanye and Northwest comes out, is that a bathroom song? She's not in our system.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this same thing happened to me when I went to see Lil Wayne. And then Lil Wayne's like,
and
my son's going to come out.
Wayne came out?
Yeah, Lil Wayne. The double Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne times 2 comes out, and he starts performing, and people are like, hey.
It's the weekend. Let's see what's streaming, what you got on as your options for over the weekend. The Super Mario Galaxy movie is now on Peacock. That's included with your Peacock subscription. Death of Robin Hood for rental or purchase on Prime Video. That's an A24 movie with Hugh Jackman, Bill Skarsgård, and Jodie Comer. There's a new Snoopy thing on Apple TV Plus if you like that. The Bombing of Pan Am 103 is on Netflix. Obviously, the Idaho Murders College Nightmare. Supergirl, The Devil Wears Prada is on Disney Plus and Hulu. And Sean, big news. You always seem to like these. Lollapalooza live stream this weekend on Hulu and Disney Plus. Even if you couldn't snag tickets to the festival, you can stream select acts to your own home. If you want to catch Charlie XCX's first festival performance since the release of Music Fashion Film, Grammy-winning Best New Artist Olivia Dean, or rock out with the Smashing Pumpkins. No word on whether Greg Brady will be joining them for this particular performance. Lord, John Summit, Tate McRae, the XX, a whole bunch more for Lollapalooza live this weekend. Hey, if you are in a home and you want to get to a better home, well, that mortgage guy, Don, wants to help you out. If you're renting and just throwing away your money in rent every month, that mortgage guy Don wants to help you too. The rates have been headed down, are at nearly 3-year lows, and if your mortgage rate has a 7 or 8 in front of it, you should be checking into a refi. And if you have a quote, it's best to go to That Mortgage Guy Don and compare that quote today. Hit him up at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Thank you, C-Lane. We're back with your feedback in just a moment. You could join us on the show. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and send us your dispatch right now. We got this interview coming up next. Is that still?
I believe so. I'm clicking over to see if he's on yet.
Global world exclusive interview incoming. Stand by. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
Looking at your regular morning delays eastbound on I-4 by the major attractions exits, activity reported northbound on Florida's Turnpike, blocking the left lane on the toll road near the 192 exit in Kissimmee. No problems at this time for those on the Beach Line or the Greenway. If you see any major traffic problems, make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
Vehicles under 20 grand. Now at RC Hill Mitsubishi in DeLand. Just go to rchill.com.
Congratulations, Melissa. You just won $1,000 from Real Radio.
Groundbreaking interview incoming. You won't hear this or see this anywhere else. Man, the sky is rumbling out there. Hey, Meep. Hey, Alien. Hey, Vicky. Hey, Night Nurse. Hey, Bird Nerd. Hey, AJ. Hey, Mike. Hey, Ryan. Brisby. Hey, everybody. How are we? A breakthrough interview. You will not see this anywhere else. Coming up next. Then we got this Nolan Wells autopsy on the way. That's going to be happening soon. Interview with Jimothy? Perhaps. Cat BH says Anthony Pizza? Perhaps. Oh, man, it's coming down out there. Woo! Wasn't going to finally interview Screech? Isn't Screech RIP? Send the rain to Texas when you're done? I wish I could. I'm just telling you, it's pouring here. Courtney. You're not here. It's pouring. I bet my interview was better last night. Well, we'll see, won't we? Interview with the LPGA caddy? Maybe. Maybe a global, worldwide exclusive. In just a couple of minutes on the show. Let's see if we can get a stream exclusive story in the meantime. In the world of politics, very quickly, big election on Tuesday. That lady that people were mocking for being corny is running against another Democratic Socialist candidate. And that election on Tuesday is going to be an interesting one. The primary that's happening on Tuesday will be one to watch. But CNN says a third of Democrats now identify as Democratic Socialists. That's been explosive. It says they tend to be younger. 59% of them are younger than 45. Are less likely to have a college degree and more likely to earn less than $100,000 a year. The numbers I saw was like people who are younger and earning under $100,000 and living in a city center, like living in New York City or something, are insanely likely to be Democratic Socialists or supporters of them. You didn't hear about this at all until, there has been some candidates out there, but Zoran Mamdani in New York was the one who kind of rocketed this up. I think these people are a danger to the Democratic Party. They're literally trying to eat you alive from the inside, Democrats. But Democrats right now are so desperate for somebody to fight back against the Trump administration that they seem to have an appetite for only these DSA, Democratic Socialists of America candidates. One of the weirdest things, and I don't know if any other political candidates do this, but if you get endorsed, if you get an actual endorsement from the Democratic Socialists of America, you have to sign a contract with them. And when you take office, you agree to mutually govern with the organization. That's kind of weird. I don't know if like Republicans or Democrats or any other party does that, but they sign a document that says when you get the endorsement from the Democratic Socialists of America, if you win the election, you govern with them, and they're like involved in decisions or something. That's crazy. I never even heard that before. The News Junkie, what's your opinion of Bernie Sanders? I think Bernie is good on some stuff, actually. And I think Bernie is consistent, which I always like in a politician. He's consistent. I think he's a good speaker. He's good at getting his ideas across. I think his economic ideas are terrible. They'll be bad for the country. But overall, I don't hate Bernie Sanders. I don't mind him that much. I don't see him personally as radical as a lot of these people. Or as hypocritical as so many of these DSA people tend to be. Because they tend to be like more wealthy. They had easy upbringings and they're all landlords. Stand by.
Go to lifemd.com. Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Got a question after an accident? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. FUN. F-U-N. That's fun. Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Dispensing unsolicited advice on a wide range of pointless topics.
Newsroom, so good to have you with us. Come join us at your leisure. Get the podcast over at thenewsjunkie.com or watch live always on youtube.com/thenewsjunkie. Okay, we have so many things to try to work into the show today. Somebody earlier in the week had emailed us and they said, is this real? Somebody sent me a link and there's a guy running for office and he's got like a meme forward website and his name supposedly is Antonio Pizza. And Antonio Pizza is like legit running for some sort of office here. And they asked us, check this out. Is this guy for real? And we looked up and like, I think it might be. I think this might be a real campaign. But now we have to discover, is it really real? Antonio Pizza, are you with us, friend?
I am here. How are you?
There he is. Antonio Pizza himself has joined us on the show. First things first, you look young to be a politician. How old are you?
I'm 19.
19 years old. And why on earth at 19 do you want to be involved in the world of politics? Is something drawn you to this?
Oh, yeah, definitely. So I've always been a leader growing up, and I've really gotten tired of, everyone can point out what's wrong with the world, but not a lot of people offer solutions and actually try to make a change. They just sit there and point fingers.
All right. And you wanted to kind of cut through that and try to see what you could do. Is your name legit Antonio Pizza?
Yes.
That's
Antonio Constantino Pizza.
That is the most Italian name.
Awesome.
Antonio Constantino Pizza. All right. All right. And the whole thing is the pizza always delivers. And like you're rolling with the idea that this is your name and it's a fun campaign.
I gotta stick with it, yeah.
Yeah, Pizza for School, in fact, is what the website is, pizzaforschool.com. So you're running for school board? Is that what you want to be?
Yeah, I'm running for Seminole County School Board.
All right. And do you know some of the other people who are on this board? Are you familiar with what's going on? And do you know things that you would want to change?
Because I recently graduated from Seminole County Public School, Haggerty High School.
Yeah.
So I know not just the effects of the policies. I lived through the effects of the policy.
True.
From everything from the mental health policy they had, from the bullying, from the drug use in the bathroom. I experienced all of it.
You did drugs in the bathroom?
Sick and tired of... Yeah, they have drug use in the bathroom. Right. It's a big concern. They actually, at one school, they call it the weed wall.
The weed wall? All right. I mean, there's just everybody smokes weed on the weed wall? Is that it?
Yeah, nothing gets by you, Sean.
Yeah, I knew it. Antonio Pizza, be wowed and amazed by what my intellect here as I cut through the nonsense. So the weed wall is of concern to you. The kids smoking and doing drugs and stuff in the school, bullying, and you want to be a part of your own future here by helping out. Do you think one of the problems is people who run for office tend to be like oldos and they don't know what kids actually need who are in school?
Yeah, so I think what's interesting right now is in the last 5 years, probably since COVID, we are on a new wave of learning, new wave of education. More things are online than ever. And we need a board that really represents the different ideas and the different perspective that's going on in the school system currently, not ones that took place over 50 years ago.
True. Yeah, I mean, things have changed drastically even since I've been in school. I'm looking at pizzaforschool.com. Can you walk us through the photo that you've chosen to represent your campaign? You appear to be in a tuxedo here. Is this?
Yes, that was my senior class photo.
Okay, so
hell yeah,
this is the one you went with, your senior class photo. It says
you got a 2 for 1 on that one
of education and Antonio Pizza, and you picked this photograph to represent you here. What has been the feedback you've seen from voters so far?
It's definitely been a mixed feedback. A lot of people say I'm young and I'm inexperienced. And yes, I may be that, but I'm always willing to learn. It's actually a fact that our younger generation is more easy to learn things than the older generation. And with our school board facing a deficit of $17 million, along with IEPs, especially students who have IEPs. In Seminole County, was suing a family with an IEP because they wanted a nurse. 29 doctors said that they needed a nurse in the school, and the school board sued this family, lost in state court. Now they're going to federal court and they're suing them again. And as a student, I grew up with an IEP for dyslexia. That really impacts me because I feel like these are students that are already struggling enough in school, but to go after them like this and not really follow their IEP and not give them the proper accommodations, all while the school board complains about people leaving the school system and going to voucher schools and private schools. In reality, all we need to do is support the students we have in our schools, and that will bring more people in.
Okay. All right. I mean, that seems pretty level-headed. I do. The thing that I'm least surprised by, C-Lane, on this website, you will be very unsurprised by this too. Antonio Pizza is a proud Eagle Scout.
Brother in arms.
0% surprised that you are an Eagle Scout, but I mean that does prepare you, I think, in many ways to get ready for something like this.
Antonio, can I? Sorry to cut you off. Can I ask what your Eagle Scout project was?
Yeah, so I actually did an interesting Eagle Scout project. I was the president and founder of my high school's chess club.
Okay,
but in my freshman year, actually, I moved from Maywood, New Jersey to Florida, and I was still part of both troops. So I actually installed 5 outdoor chess tables, 3 in Maywood, New Jersey, and then 2 in Florida. So I did like 2 states, and I'm one of the few Eagle Scouts that did a project that crossed state lines.
What was your project, Josh?
I built a picnic table and resurfaced a greenhouse.
Oh my God! Picnic table and a greenhouse.
The chess table thing, though.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I'd say
2 states. It was a different time.
All right. Here's the thing. I'm just going to come out and say it here, Antonio Pizza. Your name is Antonio Pizza. You were in the chess club. You were an Eagle Scout. When you talk about bullying, is that because you were bullied in high school?
I think there was a little bit of bullying. I think, there was definitely some bullying in high school, some in middle school. I think there's always going to be bullying, but it's what can the people above us, the administration, the teachers, what can they really do to stop the bullying? What can I do as a student stop it as well? Reporting and all of that. And unfortunately, in Seminole County, they really have poor guidelines. They don't have a public handbook that goes over, if you do this, if you break this policy, this is the consequence. A lot of the rules and policies are left up to teacher and administrative discretion. I was at town hall yesterday, and a parent talked to me, and they said, my niece dropped out of high school because she was bullied so much in the bathroom.
Damn.
And when I went to the school, I saw someone being bullied, and I saw the admin turn away and not witness it so they didn't have to write the paperwork.
Really? My God. Yeah. I mean, when you talk about school and drugs and stuff, have you had any experience with drugs ever?
My only experience was in drugs is if going into the bathroom and it being all smoke or fog, and you can just smell the drugs. Personally, I don't do drugs.
You never done marijuana?
You never smoke?
You never
smoke?
Drink? Wow. No. Antonio Pizza never had a sip of a beer?
No.
Never had a drag of a joint?
No.
Never popped a perk? Hit the Benjamin? Never done any of those things?
No.
All right. Okay, I believe you.
Nobody
I believe
does perks anymore.
Shut up, Josh. You don't know about this. You don't know about this issue. Antonio Pizza is the guy who wants to make you rethink what's going on here. He wants to save taxpayer money. That's what you say on your website. You want to phase out COVID-era learning. I mean, COVID was so bad for school. And you were in school for those periods of time where everything got screwy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
definitely. And what we're seeing right now, it's still pushing students through the system. If you fail a class in Seminole County, you can actually drop that class mid-semester, enroll in the online version, and the online version does not have any guardrails to catch AI, to catch any cheating. And then even more than that, if you fail a whole semester, you can do the online summer school, and you can make up that whole semester in at least 4 weeks.
Wow. In the campaign that you're in right now, Antonio Pizza, is there any attack ads going on, or is anybody doing attack ads against anybody else?
I will say that there's been a couple of my opponent's supporters who like to go onto my comments on Facebook and write things up telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, I'm the one who went to the school. I experienced everything that happened.
Who do we think is behind this? Like, who do we think is like putting these comments out there?
It's definitely, I've looked at their profiles. It's definitely some of their supporters and stuff.
Okay.
They like to cause a lot of doubt on my campaign and bring up my youth and inexperience. But in reality, I have the most experience by knowing what's going on in the school system, day-to-day operations, compared to the school board that just sits back and watch things happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's something to that. There's a weird thing that people do where they'll attack you for your youth and inexperience, and it's like, well, what makes you more capable just because you're older? Like, automatically being older does not make you more capable at a job like this. And in fact, if I wanted to find somebody with the expertise about knowing how a school runs and what the problems are, I'd want somebody who is the closest to the experience of school. The problem is a lot of people your age are kind of dumb and not good at being candidates like that. But you want to do this. You have a desire to do this. Do you see yourself as being maybe a politician long-term, going for bigger offices?
I think my focus right now is in Seminole County and the school board. What comes after that, because we do have a 2-term limit, I'll have to see in 8 years. And even if I decide to rerun, but right now my top priority is just fixing the schools.
All right.
I've always stood out in my generation too. Like, I have a flip phone. This is my phone.
Whoa, look at this guy.
So I'm very, different from my generation. Because that really bothered me, because in Jersey, we had a strict phone policy. You were not allowed to go on your phone. And then COVID happened.
Yeah.
And they started letting us go on our phones in class and stuff. And I remember walking into homeroom first week back, and I'm expecting for the classroom to be talking and stuff, but they're not. They're all on their phones.
Quiet.
I like to call them phone zombies, because all they are is staring at their phone, swiping mindlessly, and they're not interacting with people. And you see that with higher anxiety, higher depression rate. All of this is linked to us using our cell phones, electronics so much, and we just have to be more in the moment.
That's good. So you would rather these phone bans and stuff continue to spread around where the students aren't on their phones and allowed to be on their phones at school?
Yeah, so I believe that right now we need to get a phone chart in every single classroom, and attendance is taken from that phone chart. And if your phone's not in the phone chart, then you are not mentally present in class, and you should be marked absent.
All right. I think you're winning some people over here.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on Israel v. Palestine?
Ooh, bring up some federal issues here.
No, don't worry. It's just, all right.
That's definitely a federal issue going on.
Nice.
My focus is definitely in Seminole County and all of that.
Good pivot.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good pivot. Yeah, you got a future in this. I can see this happening for you. Antonio, I wish you luck. Over there. Pizza for School.
I was going to ask, what's your website? Because I don't know if you've experienced this, but you as a candidate, your name, while it's quite unique, it is hard to Google. Because when I Google Antonio Pizza, I get a lot of restaurant options.
There's a lot of
Facebook wouldn't let me create my name as Antonio Pizza. It said it was a fake name. So I had to fight Facebook for multiple months
screw
to just
you,
get my name up. Yeah. But you can go to pizzaforschool.com. Feel free to donate there.
Mm-hmm.
And I would appreciate anyone's support.
Okay. If you need anybody to make an attack ad against one of the other candidates, I'm on board. I would love to do that.
Yeah.
But I want to go dirty. Like, I want to go after them as hard as we possibly can to shut down these mean Facebook comments and stuff. We got to.
Yeah. I would say, my opponent is a nice lady. She is very nice. But just because you're nice doesn't mean you're a good leader.
True. Boom. Yeah.
And
yeah.
her supporters are actually the ones that are really mean. And I don't know if that's linked to her, really.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is there was actually one of my supporters made a song.
Oh, really?
About me.
Is it available online? Can I hear it or no?
We're hoping to post it this week. So
Okay.
It'll be on the Instagram page. So if you want to follow me on Elect Pizza, and if you want to follow me on Facebook, which my name is Antonio Constantino Pizza. I just got that fixed last week.
There you go. Nice. All right. Thank you so much. It's been good talking to you. There he is. Antonio Pizza, everybody. Yeah. Good luck, bud. There he is. He's off and on his way. Go check him out at pizzaforschool.com. Okay. Quick break. When we come back, we'll see what you think about Mr. Pizza and his campaign and all the other things we've been discussing on the show today. I've got this very disturbing story I've been pushing back a little bit, a viral clip and why this is going viral. We'll talk about that, jury duty, and so much more, all coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law office.
What do we think, folks? What do we think, chat, about Antonio Pizza? Antonio Constantine Pizza. Hello? Oh, shoot. Yeah, let's do that next. This Week in Florida coming up next. Stand by. Okay. You liked him? It's refreshing to see somebody level-headed talking politics. I agree, right? Like, he is nice. He doesn't want to like go after the opponent so bad. You know, the reason I asked him, funnily enough, I watched yesterday because I thought, well, I'm going to take a second during my walk and inform myself. And I said, let me listen to the Orange County mayoral debate. The main candidates for Orange County mayor, the county in which Orlando is located. And I watch all these candidates, and they're up there, and they're talking about the property tax issue. There were some really good points on that, like what happens if this property tax thing gets pushed through in Florida. And most of them seem pretty level-headed about it. I heard some great explanations of that issue, saying it's like 2% of the budget of Orange County, and talking about how much Orange County's budget has ballooned over the years and how much they waste money. Like, they brought up there was a course to teach old people how to use computers, and the course cost taxpayers $300,000, and 30 people used it. It's $10,000 a piece, right? Like, so I'm watching this back and forth, and they talk a little tiny bit about homelessness, and mostly they all seem fairly normal. And in the comments, somebody's like, I only want to know who's taking AIPAC money and what their thoughts are on Israel-Palestine. And that's why I asked him, just as a joke, because it's so unhinged to me, the Israel-Palestine people. Like, what the mayor of Orange County, what role do you think they're going to have in the ongoing battle between Israel and Palestine? Do you think that's a significant issue? Dude, like, you think there's some reason why we need to know about this? Single policy issues get votes. It's just fired up radicals drawing attention and demand you adhere to whatever their activist positions are. So to hear Antonio Pizza speak refreshingly and be like, hey, look, I went to school. I know what the problems are. I was recently there. I think kids need to be off their phones. I think, like, this is just like sensible stuff. I think that's good. I think that's smart. But would you vote for a candidate that young, chat? Yes or no? Would you ever vote? It doesn't have to be him, but would you ever vote for a candidate that young? Yes or no? Sean, that's an important issue in California? Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's only 12,000 miles away. So, yes, you would. Yes, get the oldos out of here. I would. The oldos are screwing it up. Yes. Yes, yes. Yeah, most people, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people try to dismiss somebody just because they're young, but those are the exact positions that I think somebody young could thrive in. And it's a school board, right? You know, there's a board of people. It's not just one individual. To have the input from somebody so young, I think would be very valuable. Seminole County voters, please consider Antonio Pizza. And also, think about this like Tiger Woods' dad with Tiger Woods. If we can sort of, I don't want to use the word groom, but if we can like work with Antonio Pizza here at the entry point, work him up through the school system, maybe get him over to like a house seat in Florida, then maybe get him to like United States Congress, and then get Antonio Pizza into the White House, we will be in control of that White House. So it's a long road. Do not compare yourself to Tiger Woods' dad, Sean. Why not? President Pizza? For a school board, he can relate to the students, set a great example for them. I agree. Yeah. I think that's kind of important. I think it's kind of important. Okay, we're coming back right now, chat. Stand by.
From the frontiers of marketing, you'll hear the untold origin story from the people who built MTV from the ground up.
I want my MTV!
Something for me that felt like mine. Those are powerful words, my.
Download the free iHeartRadio app, search Math and Magic, and listen now.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Fun. F-U-N. That's fun. Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Forever hovering over life's great dump button. You're listening to the
This station. So glad to have you with us. And we hope you dive deeper in. Go over to the website, thenewsjunkie.com. Support with a premium subscription. Unlock secret shows. Secret shows drop every Friday at 5 p.m. So if that's the time or past it, go get the latest uncensored secret show over on thenewsjunkie.com. One thing I saw that's starting to get attention, I don't know if the young folks will start doing this or not, but this is a new thing that's starting to catch on. I've not heard this talked about anywhere else, but perhaps you have. But there are new tattoos called Cypherx. I think I'm saying that right. Cipherx.
Cypherx.
Cypherx. Believe that's the name. And these are really interesting if they did catch on. I think there's some limitations to them, but the idea is there's no pain at all. The tattoo is permanent, and you can order it right to your home. And here's an example. This is from The Verge right now. It says, this tattoo is permanent, pain-free, and might soon come in the mail. And they show somebody with like a really simple little star tattoo. And you go on to a website, or that's the idea, Cypherx, this London-based company. You order one of these tattoos. They have like stars and hearts and all sorts of different designs and stuff. And when you get it at your house, you press it against your skin, and it gives you like an instant tattoo that is permanent.
It's got like a whole bunch of micro needles. How's that pain-free?
I don't know. They said it's pain-free.
Tiny.
Yeah, they're little. That's under like a microscope where you see them like a little pointy there. But it's this little thing that you get. It's in the design of your tattoo, and then you squish it against your skin when you get it, and then it's supposed to be pain-free. And it says the process is designed to be quiet, fast, and pain-free, all of which I found to be true. This is the article saying this. Opening the door for even more people to rock some permanent ink. Some cosmetic products already use a similar technology. Microneedle tattoo patches have been explored since at least 2022, but this is a consumer-ready product. So you'll actually get this thing in the mail, and then it says a flexible tattoo bandage was applied to it to make it not move around. Then there was a sticker placed over top, and then 15 minutes you wait till it processes, and then you're done. Like press it against your skin. Right now, it's pretty simple. You're looking at stars and hearts and stuff. But the idea is eventually, like, let's say Josh wants a Pokemon tattoo.
Sure.
They make a deal with the Pokemon people. You buy the Pokemon tattoo. You bring it to your house. You put it on your skin, kind of like you would a temporary tattoo.
Interesting.
And then you get a tattoo.
I wonder if the people that are really into tattoos would welcome this or shun it.
What do you think, Josh? Stolen valor or no?
It's so small. Like, it can't take the place of a full-size tattoo yet, obviously.
Not yet. No.
That's fine for hobbyists.
Yeah, but it could soon because they made these pretty small right now. You put them on your ankle, you put them on your waist, your hip, or whatever, and you get a tiny little tattoo just like that. Maybe quickly they license out the Playboy Bunny logo. Maybe they license out some simple sports team type things, and then people can get these and press them up against their skin, and you got a permanent tattoo out of it. Honestly, it'd be great for bets with your friends and different things like that. Like,
if you could personalize it too,
that'd
be funny.
Yeah, and you'd go, all right, loser's getting this. And
this
then
is really going to ramp up the guy who loses fantasy football punishment.
Right between your eyes, just press that sucker right in your face. It says, if you pick your design.
You know what? That's another kind of bad news for this technology. Is like if you had your friend passed out on the couch, you just went and tattooed him.
Start pressing them against them all over their body. Yeah, it can happen. Somebody says, Vendasora over on Twitch watching the show says, this is essentially a chemical burn, right? No, I believe it's ink. It's like ink on this thing.
Micro needles.
So when you get a tattoo, I don't need to explain this to everybody, but just for those of you who don't know, you're taking a needle that's going in and out, and it goes, takes the ink and brings it in and out of your skin, giving you the tattoo. This is all of the ink and all of the correct colors already on top of the micro needles in the position of the tattoo. So it's almost like a sticker or something. You're putting it across you, but then it delivers the ink into those exact places with the microneedles, and now your tattoo is perfectly matched up and permanent, and it doesn't hurt, according to them.
It says, the website itself says minimal discomfort.
All right.
Longevity permanent, color carbon black, up to 1.5 by 1.5 centimeters. Micron scale precision. The aftercare is quite minimal. And just a safe, fast, and convenient application. New form of permanent tattooing, microdot tattoo.
I think people might be into this. They do what's the henna? They have like henna tattoos. Yeah. Sometimes people do that. It's like semi-permanent things, and they last a little bit longer. They said the tattoo is revealed after the patch is removed, and it becomes visibly darker over the course of 2 days. Initially, the tattoo consisted of lots of tiny dots rather than a smooth, connected line. The ink is supposed to bleed together as it develops like a regular tattoo does over the years. So you get this thing, and then eventually, you've got a tattoo on you. It's very simple now. The designs leave a bit to be desired. I'm seeing a smiley face, a star, a chair. I don't know why. There's a chair design. There's a line, hearts. This is some pretty simple stuff that they have. And you order this and get your tattoo right in the comfort of your house. Oh, there's a little ghost. All right, that's a little bigger, a little more complex. Would you do this, folks? Will this take off is some sort of big idea? Now, I think if you could make this, like I have a lot of tattoos, if you could make this a complex tattoo, Josh, where let's say it's like one of these tattoos, like I have my son's initials on my forearm. If you could make it so you just take something, press it against you, wait for a couple of minutes, peel it off, and it was pain-free, and now you have a tattoo of that size, I think that might be desirable to some people. Maybe not. Let us know what you think. Give us your thoughts over at thenewsjunkie.com right now. All right, we'll get into some of your dispatches, emails, and all the rest. In fact, here's somebody reacting to that woman who made the viral video where she said, my kids are never going to do homework. She said they are never going to do homework. The schools are to blame for this. If you teachers want my kids to do homework, too bad.
We should have asked Pizza about this.
Oh, yeah, but the no homework lady? Well, Deanna emails tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Hey, News Junkie. The millennial mom here checking in, and I'm a mom for a third grader. Our school does not do homework yet, except reading together every night for 20 or 30 minutes. We do homework almost every night outside of that to make sure our son understands the concepts that they're doing that week and the reinforcement of fundamentals throughout the school year. We start back up with the fundamentals 3 weeks before school in summer to be prepared for the new year. I don't want my kids to get through school. I want them to succeed and thrive. It's a joint effort for teachers and parents for education. Not all millennial moms suck like this lady. Those poor kids. Have a great weekend and keep up the work, says Deanna. And you know what? That's out. That's good.
Nice.
That's good. That's involvement in your child's life and education. It's the work that it takes to be a good parent. The woman in that viral video said, it's my job as a parent to have fun with my child. It's like, no, that is not your job as a parent. That may be one of the facets of your job, one of the many things that comes with the responsibilities of being a parent. But I think you got it right. So thank you for that email. Yours could be next. Tips, TIPS, @thenewsjunkie.com. Our friend Mo DeWitt is on the way in a bit.
Sweet.
We got some questions to ask him. Oh, can I share this video? Are we far enough from anybody eating? Do you guys consent to something that's a little gross?
Our lunch isn't here yet. So
okay, good. Perfect timing. All right. This is in Russia. Somebody was at a Wildberries pickup point. For those of you who don't know, actually Wildberries factories and warehouses have been getting bombed by the Ukrainians because it's a way that they can have an impact on the Russians. Wildberries is like Amazon in Russia. Fact check that, C-Lane. I think that's correct.
That's correct.
It is? Okay. Wildberries is
shipping, comrade.
Like, I don't even think they have Amazon. I don't know if they even have Amazon. So their version of Amazon in Russia is called Wildberries. And this is at one of the facilities where they process returns and whatever. I don't know why I said it like that.
It did sound very weird.
Returns.
That kid's an absolute return.
As in, if I got him, I'd return him.
They process returns, I guess I should say. And here's what happens. So brace yourself. Here we go. We're inside this Wildberries location. All right, they're going through some of the boxes. Watch this one. Ready? Watch it. They're taking the box apart. All right. The box explodes. Somebody had returned human feces in their equivalent of an Amazon delivery box.
It's not what they ordered?
Sitting there. As they're sitting there working on the return, it blows up and launches all over all of them inside this office.
I like that added sound effect.
Uh-huh.
You get to leave work after that.
Yeah,
you get to leave
so.
work
in Russia.
Yeah, in Russia, they probably make you stay at the old Wildberries. That is not just leave work for the day, C-Lane. That should be leave work for the rest of the year. I think you should get the rest of the year off. Why did it explode? Because they wanted it to. They sent it back to them to get back at the company, and it flung everywhere, all over these poor people. I'm not going to put this on See It Now. If you want to see it that bad, you can see it on the stream because some of you might have a fetish for this, but it's absolutely god-awful disgusting.
It'd be funny if Ukraine sent that one to them.
One at a time, poop bombs to all the different locations. Jesus. No telling. All I know is, in a surprise order, in Russia, a box filled with feces exploded at a Wildberries pickup point. We'll see if there's any updates on this. When we come back, we got jury duty on the way. Lots more emails coming in. We'll get to the, of course, Power Hour momentarily and a whole lot more on a Friday. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Every day at Real Radio, we prove that we're human. Now it's your turn. What is this?
Stool sample?
Just send us a talk back with our free iHeartRadio app and prove that you're guaranteed human.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by iHeartAdvertising.com.
NFL news, the 49ers, after receiver Ricky Pearsall's knee injury, are bringing back veteran Deebo Samuel, signing into a one-year deal. Baseball highlights yesterday included the White Sox 2-1 11-inning win over the Yankees, the Sox second straight walk-off over the Yanks. Cody Clemens' 2-out ninth-inning grand slam rallied the Twins past the Royals 4-3. And Shohei Ohtani sat out with knee soreness, but the Dodgers won anyway, beating Seattle 6-2. I'm Matt McCoy.
Run a business and not thinking about radio? Think again, because people are listening to radio more today than they did 20 years ago. And only iHeartRadio connects with more Americans than TV, digital, even social. Learn how radio can help your business. Call 844-844-iHeart.
Celebrate America's 250th anniversary with Renewal by Andersen and get $250 off every window and door this month only. Plus, 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. With Renewal by Andersen, you're...
Oh, no. I totally forgot about this week in Florida. He's coming here. Hey, everybody. Mo DeWitt is on the way. Mo DeWitt is on the way, stopping by soon. Hey, Frank. Big Bird sends in a dispatch thinking that there might be some Chinese involvement. Interesting. Sean definitely said he was going to make sure nobody was eating. Good thing I was just finishing up my lunch break. I told you. What do you want? I told you that was going to be gross. I can't warn you any more than that. I ate more after seeing that. You strange individual. Did you guys see this story, by the way? We're back in a couple of minutes. Netflix is being sued for $105 million for losing a Nicolas Cage movie. A UK-based production company and a filmmaker are suing Netflix for $105 million, saying they lost a drive containing a copy of an unreleased spy movie. The movie was hand-delivered to Netflix so they could screen it as a potential buyer. And Netflix emailed the filmmakers to say that the drive had been stolen. Someone stole a good amount of drives from our office desk this past week, Netflix said. The complaint notes the movie called Fortitude took 7 years to make and cost $45 million, starring Nicolas Cage. The bigger story underneath this is that somebody went into Netflix's office and stole a whole bunch of thumb drives or flash drives, and one of them contained the Nicolas Cage movie. Who knows what else they got, right? All these potential blockbuster films. Stand by. Imagine what those people got their hands on. Does Russia have Taco Bells? Good question. Dan says, back up your files, folks. Well, kind of, Dan. But I think what they're arguing is this. If Netflix was given this flash drive, and the flash drive has a Nicolas Cage movie on it, and they say, watch the movie, tell us if you're interested in buying it, and someone steals it from Netflix, the risk is now that that person is going to pirate that movie before they can get their value out of it. So that they start pirating the movie. Now it's worth less to the people who actually own that movie. because the streamers or whoever you're going to sell it to is not going to want to pay as much. You follow what I'm saying? So it's more about like they trusted Netflix to have this copy of the movie. It was stolen from Netflix, and now the movie may be worth much less because somebody could just leak it. All right, we're coming back.
1NA member FDIC.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Today is Mo Better with Josh Fowler. Courtesy of Just Call Mo, Orlando's injury attorneys. Watching the world burn with some friends since 2007. This is...
Sorry, Antonio Pizza. I blame him. I blame Antonio Pizza. This week in Florida, folks, we're still going to do it. We're still going to do it. We're going to work that in here in just a moment on the show. Really quick before we do jury duty. Or do you want to do This Week in Florida right here? Is this good?
Yeah, we could do it right here.
We could do it here if you want.
Let's
That's
do it
fine
right
by
here.
me.
Let's
do it right here, man. Let's do it. Let's do This Week in Florida.
All right.
Giving you a recap of the most groan-worthy stories in the state. It's This Week in Florida.
That's right. The weekend is here. This is definitely not an afterthought. It's time to take a trip around the Sunshine State, see some of the craziness that has gone on in the past 7 days or so. At long
When
last,
you get Antonio Pizza on the line, you talk to Antonio Pizza, all right?
I got bumped for pizza. It's kind of a low point. We start in St. Pete at the beach, where 2 men have been arrested by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. I did not know this was, I mean, it seems illegal, but I did not know this crime was that bad. The owner of the Plaza Beach Hotel and also the owner of Chris's Beachside Bar, which sounds like a nice place, except for the fact that they are accused of placing 1,500 mothballs on the beach.
For what purpose?
To get the moths away.
To prevent black skimmer shorebirds from nesting.
Oh, my God. I thought that was going to go a totally different direction for a second.
What did you think it was
to prevent black? I thought you were talking about something. So to prevent what now? Black what?
Black skimmer shorebirds apparently nest on the beach.
Never even heard of them.
Me neither. But the FWC officials say Robert C. His last name is CZYSZCZON.
Oh, God.
A lot of Z's in that last name.
Chicken John.
Sure. Robert Chicken John and Christopher Monroe were trying to keep the birds from nesting on the beach behind their hotel and bar. They started off with no real leads, but through the investigative work, FWC says officers discovered that Chicken John made a large purchase of mothballs from Walmart around the date of the incident, and then they were able to get search warrants for the cell phone data. But yeah, they said that like the headline says toxic mothballs. Are mothballs just by definition toxic?
Yes.
You know what the weirdest thing in the world is? When I was young, I remember people talking about it, but I feel like the mothballs thing is just completely worked out of American society.
I've never seen a need for mothballs in my house.
There was when our grandparents were young, they would be like, "Oh, you're going to put the clothes in the closet? Put the mothballs in there." But I think we've changed that.
You ever smelled mothballs?
It's not good.
How'd you get their little legs apart?
Classic.
That's a good one.
Moses, don't laugh about it. Moses DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm joins us.
Bunch of returns on this show.
That's how it goes. Yeah. This place is full of returns. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Sometimes you need real investigative work. Sometimes you need to do the due diligence, and sometimes they just make it easy on you. Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office detectives arrested Christopher Chiofalo on Tuesday. They took him into the police department and showed him a video of this burglary that they had him, that they thought he was a suspect for.
Yeah.
And he told the cops, "Oh, yeah, I broke into the business a while back. Looked familiar. Yeah, that's me. you got me. Case closed. Way to go, Christopher Chiofalo. Would that just be, Moses, like the worst case scenario as a client for to hear that somebody said like that?
I mean, yeah, you're screwed. You basically got no defense at that point.
Rule number one is don't admit to the thing you're accused of.
Keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
But it used to be, before there was a public defender, which was not that long ago, the sheriff in many counties around here would say, they go into the jail and they say, all right, if you're guilty, go on the left. If you're not guilty, go on the right. And people, 50% of the people, go on the left side. That's 100% true.
That's hilarious. Well, that one's pretty much open and shut for the cops and for the prosecution there. And it sounded like the guy was like, "Oh yeah, I remember that place." It sounded like he had done so many break-ins that one like just looked a little familiar. And I think I kind of know that one was me. So we'll see what happens with him. Central Florida has seen a rise in leprosy cases, so let's stay away from the armadillos. Health officials are reassuring residents after new cases of leprosy were reported across the state, including several in Central Florida. 17 cases have been reported statewide so far this year. Surgeon General Joseph Ladapo addressed the increase on Friday, saying the number of cases remains low. Shouldn't be a major cause for concern. It's just an old skin-eating disease, right? Does it eat your skin?
Yeah.
How do you get it from the armadillo?
I touch it. Yeah, it's
just touching it. Like you touch an armadillo and you touch your face and you get leprosy.
Okay. So it says one reason Central Florida has seen cases is the presence of the 9-banded armadillo, which carries the bacteria that causes leprosy. Experts emphasize that simply seeing or being near an armadillo does not mean someone will become infected. It's not spread through casual contact. It's also known as Hansen's disease. Infection typically requires prolonged exposure to the bacteria through contact with infected armadillo. So you're just sitting there petting your armadillo a lot, and then you get the leprosy.
I think this might be bad for that armadillo world that's opening on iDrive.
Yeah, it could be. It's set up for failure, man.
If you bought a Mega Millions ticket in Florida for Tuesday night's
drawing... Did you hire a writer this week, Moses?
Josh punched up a few things for me.
Josh is texting him jokes on the laptop right now.
Mo's got a tight 5 ready to go. All right, good. He's coming in hot.
You bought a Mega Millions ticket in Florida for Tuesday night's drawing. You might want to check it. One lucky ticket purchased in the Sunshine State matched all 5 numbers and the Mega Ball. The winner will get to claim a jackpot of $800 million. Gas is expensive these days, but that wasn't a big worry for Yusniel Lara, 40 years old. He was caught in a Circle K fuel-stealing scheme. The Deltona man was arrested after he was caught stealing diesel from Circle K gas stations across the area. I think they found him with like a giant tank and a magnet or something.
Oh, that's what they use. Yeah. That's one of the indicators that somebody's trying to steal gas like that.
Surveillance video from the stations reportedly showed the same suspect vehicle each time, a white Ram 2500 pickup. Similar diesel thefts were reported in Sanford and Ocala. It's not saying anything about the magnet. Oh, yes. Detectives say they found a large magnet on the driver's seat, an item commonly used in diesel thefts from pumps. In the truck bed, they saw a large auxiliary fuel tank with the cap open but not yet filled. It's estimated he stole 300 gallons of diesel. And last but not least, a Jupiter man was jailed Thursday after allegedly breaking into a neighbor's home to slice a lime and drink her tequila with a towel on his head. According to the police department, the victim woke up around 6:30 a.m. to her dogs barking continuously.
You?
It was not me.
All right.
I would never do the towel part.
Yeah, just if I had to pick somebody that I knew that did this, it would be you that did this.
Oh, you don't think Josh drinks tequila?
I don't think he would have put the towel on his head.
Why
the
not?
other part. Yeah, I don't know. I can see Celine doing this.
She grabbed a firearm, walked downstairs where she confronted an uninvited guest, 30-year-old Jeffrey Bartimus, headed towards her back door. Bartimus apologized and quickly jumped her back fence with a towel wrapped around his head. He lives just down the street. He tried opening the victim's front door moments earlier while holding a 6-pack of beer. So he brought his own beer, but he drank her tequila. Police say he helped himself to her Svedka vodka and Milagro tequila, leaving open bottles, a cut lime, and a knife on the kitchen counter, and leaving with the towel. That's it for this week in Florida.
Thank you, C-Lane. Zephys says, what's the magnet for? I don't know. They use like a big, strong magnet to somehow get into the area where they have the diesel fuel.
If I had to guess, the magnet might interrupt the mechanism that turns inside the machine that measures how much diesel you're pumping out.
Oh, okay.
I know nothing about why the magnet works. That is just a very educated guess on why a magnet might help you out in some sort of situation for that.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back,
now I'm going to Google it and pat myself on the back when I figure out that I'm right.
And if you don't, just don't tell anybody.
Nope.
That's the best way to handle it. You know? Like just completely let it go. When we come back, the Power Hour, the final hour of the week for the show. If you want to hang out with us more, you're going to have to dive into the world of secret shows and unlock a premium account over at thenewsjunkie.com. That'll be posted by 5 p.m. If it's 5 p.m., it's ready to go. Go uncensored with secret shows. We'll come back with the Power Hour with our friend Mo DeWitt. A crazy story about Netflix you got to hear. There's a ton on the way. We're going to work it all into this Power Hour, and that's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Looking at your regular morning delays eastbound on I-4 by the major attractions exits, activity reported northbound on Florida's Turnpike, blocking the left lane on the toll road near the 192 exit in Kissimmee. No problems at this time for those on the Beach Line or the Greenway. If you see any major traffic problems, make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. 270 hours of training, that's what their techs go through. Best not trust your engine with just any buckaroo. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Change wisely.
If you want to buy or sell your home quickly, call Nick Lee. Download a free home buyer's guide at theNickLeeGroup.com.
Our Real Radio annual charity poker tournament presented by Just Call Mo may be sold out, but you can still join us Saturday, August 15th at the Orlando Science Center. Casino passes are still available to hang with your favorite celebrities in our That Mortgage Guy Don Casino and enjoy food from Hard Rock Cafe. Play the raffle, bid on silent auction items, and witness who will reach the Solar Source final table. Plus, all attendees will receive a complimentary Stella Artois courtesy of Mills Air and City Beverage. All proceeds benefit the mustard seed of Central Florida. Go to realradio.fm/poker for more info.
Hi, this is Mark Spain, and we're hiring listing agents. Maybe your kids are self-sufficient now and you're ready to jump back into the workforce. Or perhaps you're stuck in that demanding job and the compensation just doesn't match your hard work. Are you ready for a career move that will be rewarding and earn you the high income you deserve? If you enjoy delivering great customer service and working with people, I want to talk to you. At Mark Spain Real Estate, we have all the components to make you successful as a real estate agent fast. Go to joinmarkspain.com. That's joinmarkspain.com and apply today.
Russ Rollins here. This July, celebrate America's 250th birthday by declaring your freedom on outdated bathrooms, hard to clean grout, and the worry of hidden leaks. At HBN Bath, they'll help you enjoy beautiful, low-maintenance shower designs with quality products from brands like Moen. For a limited time, qualified buyers can enjoy no payments until 2028. It's your chance to declare independence from old bathrooms once and for all. Visit hbnusa.com. That's hbnusa.com. License number CBC 1255975.
You don't pay for iHeartRadio. Our advertisers do. That's why it's always been and always will be 100% free. Radio, music, podcasts. Download the iHeartRadio app now.
Stellar Nights at Orlando Science Center features a different laser light show every Friday and Saturday night, plus planetarium shows, exhibits, and observatory stargazing. It's all included with admission, something for all ages, now through August 8th. See the lineup and grab your tickets at osc.org.
Every great experience starts with a spark. At Orange City Poker, that spark is Ember Rewards. Earn points every time you play and redeem them for cash, dining, gift cards, resort stays, cruises, and more. As you play, you'll move through 5 exciting tiers, from Spark to Phoenix, unlocking even more rewards along the way. Whether you're playing in a tournament, joining a cash game, or enjoying a night out with friends, Ember Rewards keeps the excitement going. Ember Rewards at Orange City Poker. Feel the spark. Experience the rewards. Visit today.
Now that we have AT&T Fiber Internet in our home, our connection's so fast it can handle streaming, gaming, surfing, and video conferencing for the whole family. The only downside? Our kids' friends are coming over way more often than we'd like. Hey, Jaden, Braden, Zayden, come on in, you guys. Luke, what's up, buddy? How's baseball going? I've got the game streaming in the den. Maybe you can pick up some pointers before we take on Kennedy next week. Ashley A, Ashley D, Ashley P, is this for a group project again? Because last time it looked a lot like high-speed reality TV research. Hey, Kristen! You got the ring light and the tripod this time. Don't forget to tag the house with the fastest internet. Honey, it's going to be another late one. We're going to need more snacks.
Tell all your neighbors, AT&T Fiber has arrived. Hyper-fast internet is now available in your neighborhood. Learn more at att.com/internet. Limited availability in select areas.
My obstructive hypertrophic cardiomyopathy kept me from baseball games with my boys. The stairs were too much. With Camzyos, my symptoms have improved and I can be more active again. Camzyos is a cardiac myosin inhibitor, the first in its class to treat adults with symptomatic OHCM. Camzyos may improve your symptoms and ability to be active. And it reduced obstruction in the heart 4 times more.
In a 30-week study, Camzyos, mavacamten, reduced post-exercise obstruction on average 47 units of pressure versus 10 with placebo. Results may vary. Camzyos may cause serious side effects, including heart failure that can lead to death, a risk that's increased with serious infection, irregular heartbeat, or with certain other medicines. Do not stop, start, or change medicines or dose without telling your doctor. You must have echocardiograms before and during treatment. Seek help for new or worsening heart failure symptoms. Camzyos is only available through a restricted program. Before taking, tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and current or planned pregnancy, as Camzyos may harm your unborn baby.
Visit Camzyos.com or call 1-855-CAMZYOS. Actor Portrayal.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Whether it's help with hormone therapy, weight management, or sexual health, every woman should have access to affordable prescription medication and personalized care that understands the whole woman. Join me, Dr. Doug Lucas, clinical lead of hormone optimization and longevity at LifeMD, along with other leading experts on the podcast, Here's Something Good on Women's Health and Longevity. To learn more, go to lifemd.com.
For all your plumbing needs, go to modernpi.com.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Need help after an accident? Just call Mo. Learn more at JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station guaranteed human.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Rich. R-I-C-H. That's Rich. Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Join in on the chaos. We eagerly await your dispatch. This is
Kick off the Power Hour here in just a moment. Come hang out with us in the world's most viral newsroom. Learn more about the show over there on the website, which is thenewsjunkie.com. The folks in the chat room are trying to guess what Moses and I are talking about during the break. You will never, ever know, all right? They're pretending like they can read lips. They're pretending like they actually know what's happening. You're not going to know. But if you have a question for Moses DeWitt, our friend from justcallmo.com, you can call. You have anything you've been, oh, you know what? I was thinking about asking an attorney that. Moses is here. So 888-443-NEWS is the number. 888-443-NEWS. And you can get piped into the studio. And if you have any questions for Moses, now's the time to do that. We'll get to our questions for him as well. But I wanted to share a story with you guys real quick. It was pretty crazy about Netflix. So apparently there's a company that is suing Netflix for $105 million. Did anybody see this? Did you guys see this story at all? Or no?
I feel like I saw something about it, but I wasn't totally sure why.
So, C-Lane, this company is suing Netflix for $105 million because they were shopping around an unreleased Nicolas Cage movie.
Yeah.
It was a Nicolas Cage spy thriller, and they were trying to get somebody to purchase this from them. This is how it works. You film a movie, you put the whole movie together with everybody involved, and then you bring it to somebody to sell it. This is what they just did with Obsession, for instance.
Yes.
You know, they made the movie about $800,000 for Obsession. Then they sold it to a distributor, and then the distributor puts it out everywhere, and they make a boatload of money off of it. Well, this is the company before the sale, and they make a spy thriller with Nicolas Cage, and they bring it to Netflix, and they say, would you like to buy this? We don't think about these things, but they literally go over to Netflix with a flash drive, a little flash hard drive, and they say, watch this, let us know if you're interested. There's somebody who is working at Netflix, and their job is specifically to watch all these new unreleased movies. How cool would that be? And then see if Netflix should invest in them. And that person was robbed. So someone broke into Netflix's HQ and stole all of the flash drives off this person's desk, all of these unreleased movies. The company is now saying, hey, that movie is now out there possibly. And you could just leak that, or somebody, whoever has it, could leak it. And then now our movie's not worth any money because we go to another streamer or Hulu or whoever, or we would try to sell this to somebody, and they say, no, we're not going to give you anything for that. Somebody's got an illicit copy of this. And now they're suing Netflix for $105 million for losing their Nick Cage movie. And I never thought about that, but the quote was, somebody stole a good amount of drives from our office desks this past week. Moses, just from a law perspective, is it Netflix's fault? Where should they have been in made sure the security of these movies was of a certain level that it wouldn't get stolen? Is there any liability for them?
I mean, there could be. Obviously, it's going to be fact specific, but if they were negligent in having proper security protocols, protecting this data essentially, then yeah, sure, they could be liable for it.
That's crazy. I mean, that movie, obviously a Nick Cage movie, can make a lot of money, unless it's the one where he was a professor that everybody started dreaming about. I don't think that one made as much.
That was pretty funny though.
Oh God, there were some scenes in that one, Josh. There were some scenes.
I don't know if I saw that one.
It was weird because Nick Cage was playing like an older professor, and then everybody in the world became obsessed with him because everybody in the world was having a shared dream of him, of the professor.
Dream Scenario
is the name of the Nick Cage movie. And he became the most famous person in the world, and women were falling in love with him and stuff. But he was like a gross old professor. So the women were falling in love with him, and they were showing these scenes of him hooking up with them. Oh, yeah. Just some weird stuff going down there. Okay, we have a lot of emails. We have a lot of various things coming in. And again, if you have any legal questions and you want to ask Moses, you could call 888-888-443-NEWS. C-Line, what do we have on the list for Moses to win?
Let me get a second to pull that up, because
I know one that I can bring up. Mo, did you watch the Tony Romo footage?
I have.
All right, the Tony Romo body cam. What did you think? Because I thought afterwards, I said, if I was a DUI attorney, I probably would tell him, you might have a decent little case on your hands here. But what were your thoughts? Did you think this looked good for him or bad?
I mean, I don't think it looks terrible. I think he does kind of give maybe not the best answer when they asked how much he had to drink. I forget if he directly answers or kind of implies that he had some drinks. But other than that, yeah, it doesn't look, to me, it doesn't look horrible. I've heard other people say that they thought he looked terrible and looked severely intoxicated. But compared to some of the DUI videos I've seen, I didn't think it was that bad.
So I have it here. One of the things that I noticed, Moses, is the cops go up to his car.
You're coming from a golf course?
I'm playing a golf tournament in Wisconsin State Amateur.
All right, so the officer says, how many drinks have you had? And he goes, excuse me? None. And then he says, eventually, when they say, where are you headed? And he said, I'm going to my grandpa and grandma's house. Turns out his grandparents are dead.
Well, they were like his grandparents.
Would that ever wiggle its way into this story? Could they use that to be like, you were being dishonest during this stop?
Not necessarily. They could try to use it to say that he was so intoxicated that he didn't know where he was going or didn't realize his grandparents were dead or something like that. But otherwise, I think it's unlikely that he gets a charge for lying to law enforcement during an investigation or something like that.
Because they don't have the breathalyzer. They don't have a blood test.
Right.
They only have him performing these tests, and he's not slurring his words or anything. That's why I thought this looked better for him than it might be.
Yeah, I mean, if he didn't do the field sobriety exercises, it'd probably be even better, which is why I always tell people don't do the field sobriety exercises. But now, of course, here in Florida, you do have to blow into the breathalyzer because it is an additional crime to not blow into the breathalyzer.
Ooh.
Which I think that's going to be challenged at some point, but that is the law right now.
Right.
But the field sobriety exercises, literally, they're just trying to gather more evidence to support their case. First of all, let me say, don't drink and drive.
Right.
But, they're just trying to gather more evidence to build their case. You're not required to do it. And frankly, I have never seen anybody do the field sobriety exercises and then be released. So it's not helping your case. They try to make you think, if you do this, and you pass, we're going to let you go. I've never seen that happen. I've just never seen it happen.
I have done
Sean
the field
has done
sobriety test in this game too, three times, I think.
Sean used to be revered by his circle of friends
I
for
didn't say that.
his ability to pass a field sobriety test. Not necessarily.
I didn't say that. 1-888-443-NEWS.
You said you were known for it.
Kind of, a little bit. Chaos calls us. Chaos, you got a question for Mo?
Yes, Mo. How's it going?
Good.
Local bird lawyer
Question
here.
over.
I had a question as far as the term allegedly. So you see it online a lot of the time where people will be like, well, allegedly, and they try to cover themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any actual protection in saying allegedly when you are defaming somebody online?
Well, yes and no, right? Allegedly doesn't just get you out of everything. I can't go and say, Sean's a pedophile allegedly without having any sort of proof.
But you did.
It. Well, this is all within the confines.
It's a hell of an example.
You could have used anybody else's name right there.
Or any other crime.
Thank you, Josh. That's murder would have been preferred.
Well, you look at Sean, and this is just the thing that pops into your head. But, and I think there was a recent example of...
Sorry, now the caller's feeling awkward now.
I'm sorry.
Middle of this weird sandwich.
Oh, yes, allegedly.
Okay,
allegedly feeling awkward. But no, I think there was a recent case where somebody went on TikTok and they were doing that exact thing where they were saying allegedly, but they were making all these horrible accusations about these people. And they finally sued them for defamation and slander and all sorts of stuff. And the person's defense was, well, I said allegedly. No, you can't just say that. That's not a catch-all that gets you out of it. What that does is if there is a certain level of facts, basically there's some facts to support what you're saying, but there's no formal proof. You can say allegedly because they've been accused of it at this point, but it hasn't been formally proven.
So if somebody's accused of something, then you can weave that in, but you can't. It's not a workaround.
Right. There still has to be something stated in fact to support what you're saying.
Okay, makes sense. All right, thank you, Chaos. Appreciate the call. There he goes. 1-888-443-NEWS if you have any questions for Moses. It's actually kind of important in a world where people are spouting off at each other on social media nonstop. They're saying all sorts of things about people, and more people are starting to sue over these sorts of comments. And I think there's going to be more cases like this as we roll along. C-Lane, what do we have on the list for Moses?
We had a couple of stories in the last couple of weeks, maybe even longer, but there were two distinct stories about criminals who have served time being released from jail or released from prison on some sort of probationary status that have to give an address where they live. And I guess there's a couple areas where the cops are just like, listen, if you don't have an address, just use this address. Or they find an address. One of them was like a corner store, and a bunch of pedophiles, just like allegedly Sean, said they lived at this corner store.
Hell? This is not going to be a thing. It was a corner store, and then it was a strip mall, too.
Yes, and the question that I wrote down says, does the owner of this shopping center have a case against law enforcement for approving released inmates and making them reside in the parking lot for 12 hours a day as part of their terms of release?
Well, they'd have to show that they were damaged somehow. I don't know what the specific situation is and how they would be damaged. They'd have to show also that A, they didn't cooperate with this, and then, B, somehow the police were doing this. It wasn't just like, one guy started using it, told his buddy, and he told his buddy, and so on and so forth. So they'd have to sort of have furthered this through law enforcement somehow.
So it's like they're pushing them, like, if an inmate doesn't have an address to go to when they leave,
right? What
are they supposed to put down? Because it sounds like they're just like there's somebody that's processing their paperwork that's just going, if you don't have an address, we put you here, and you have to be in the parking lot of this Kohl's or something for 12 hours a day, and the people who
the Kohl's is just screwed
on the stores and stuff are like, yeah, there's a bunch of recently released criminals just hanging around here on house arrest somehow and living in their cars.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, they're loitering, they're trespassing. There's a number of issues there.
Indigent.
Yeah, but typically when you're released from prison, there's it could be a parole process, and you do have to list an address. Sometimes you have to get a job, depends on the conditions of your parole. But typically the prisons are supposed to kind of assist you with that. There's halfway houses, there's programs if you don't have a place to go. So I don't know how this ended up where they're just using a random convenience store.
The poor corner store owner can't get the sex offenders off of his property, and they're having their meetings with their probation officers on like picnic tables outside his corner store. There's just sex offenders hanging out everywhere.
It's not good. It's not good. I did want to run something by you, Moses. A lot of people are confused on this topic. This is one of those things where if you ask people, they'll be very confident, but they don't have any idea what they're talking about. I want to talk about entrapment with the police. There was a bust recently in New Jersey that will help us discuss this, but it doesn't matter where it was, really. This says New Jersey cop disguises himself as a shrub to bust 74 distracted drivers. And the cop is in like what they call a ghillie suit. So he looks like a bush, and he's got some binoculars, and he's sort of hiding in plain sight as he's giving out tickets to these drivers that were distracted. There was another cop on the scene that had a T-shirt that says, "Not a cop."
I believe him.
And he was part of this sting. And people often talk about entrapment with law enforcement. What does that actually mean? What things are entrapment? Is this entrapment?
So usually the officers have to be doing something to help further the crime or encourage the crime. It can't just be something that you were going to do anyways, and they were like just there, said like okay, or kind of were just supportive of it. So it really has to be they're sort of putting the idea in your head. They're helping you do it. They're pushing you forward. It can't just be, and I don't know what was going on here. He was speeding.
It was distracted driving.
Distracted driving. So they're obviously doing that anyways. It doesn't matter that there's a cop there or not. But we've seen some cases, and entrapment is rare. But we've seen some cases before where the cops will say, "Well, you should go and do this," and the person's like, "No, I don't really want to do that." And they're like, "No," and they start pressuring them to do that,
like shoving them.
Yeah, and then they start offering them money to do that, and they start telling them, "Oh, you can get away with it." So that's where they're really encouraging them and stepping over that line into entrapment to the way that once they do it, then they get arrested.
So it's not a cop hiding behind a bush. It's not a cop car hiding where you can't see him.
Right, exactly.
Growing up, my father really believed that, and I think a lot of people actually did. We'll take your questions if you have any for Moses or the show in general. 888-443-NEWS, 888-443-NEWS. Quick break. When we come back, we'll get into your feedback, your responses. You can also email the show if you'd like. tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Right now, though, let's make it official. Let's do the Power Hour.
They said it couldn't be done. Then they said,
"Get ready to drive. I'm a spooky pumpkin."
It's time for the Power Hour on the News Junkie.
I'm just glad it wasn't a pedophile thing.
This time.
Glad we escaped that one for now.
The old pumpkin on the pedophile.
Yeah, we'll move right on past all of this. Quick break. When we come back, we'll get into your questions and anything else that we have rolling into the final bit of the show here for the week. So stand by, because that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Looking at your regular morning delays eastbound on I-4 by the major attractions exits, activity reported northbound on Florida's Turnpike, blocking the left lane on the toll road near the 192 exit in Kissimmee. No problems at this time for those on the Beach Line or the Greenway. If you see any major traffic problems, make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Capital One Bank. What's in your wallet? Capital One offers no fees or minimums on checking accounts. And most Capital One cafes are open 7 days a week to assist with your banking needs. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by CrimeLine.org. Give a tip anonymously.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival,
presented by Capital One,
is coming back to Las Vegas.
September 18th and 19th at T-Mobile Arena. Streaming live on Disney Plus and Hulu. A weekend full of superstar performances.
Tickets are on sale now at AXS.com.
Turn up the style with Burlington. Shop the brands you love and the looks you want without the high prices. From festival-ready fits to everyday favorites, it's never been easier to look good and save big. Burlington, where great style meets even better deals.
Thinking about buying a diamond? A natural, precious, rare, dazzling diamond? Right now is your best opportunity ever.
We haven't seen diamond prices at this level in over 40 years.
That's Brian Stamey at International Diamond Center.
It blows my mind what you can get today, not only in size, but in high colors, high clarities. These are prices that we haven't seen in decades.
These are natural diamonds, formed at the center of the earth billions of years ago. They're the real deal. And right now, IDC has a multi-million-dollar selection. All sizes, all shapes, straight from the world's best cutters.
Our diamonds are ethically sourced. They're cut by the best cutters in the world. No middleman, direct to you at the best price.
Not just the best price in years, the best price in nearly half a century.
You will be amazed at the values that you can get. You will be amazed how far we can stretch your budget.
Don't miss this historical opportunity.
There has never been a better time in history to buy a natural diamond than today.
International Diamond Center, Altamont Springs, Waterford Lakes, and Mall at Millennia.
Laser light shows are back at Orlando Science Center. Stellar Nights brings your favorite artists to life with incredible laser effects, breathtaking 8K projection, and 30,000 watts of earth-shaking surround sound inside the all-new Dome by Dr. Phillips Charities. Then explore exhibits, catch planetarium shows, and stargaze from the observatory until 10 p.m. It's all included with admission, something for all ages. See the lineup and grab tickets at osc.org.
In this edition of the Marketers Report, Kelsey Agostinelli, Vice President of Marketing Operations for Mars, talks about the mindset of the listener.
When you're listening to audio, a lot of times you're really tuning into the messages you're looking for, the music you're listening for, or the podcast you're listening for. So that captive, selective audience is special.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia connects marketers to the audiences, live events, and trusted influencers you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartAdvertising.com.
Dive into a summer of awe and awesome at SeaWorld Orlando. Get up close to orcas, belugas, penguins, and more. Take an all-new Arctic adventure on Expedition Odyssey Fire and Ice, now open. Sing along with Pink Fong's Baby Shark and savor America's best barbecue flavors at Red, White, and Barbecue on weekends, now through August 23rd. Stay later for the all-new Electric Ocean with nighttime animal shows and an all-new drone and fireworks show. Go from real to unreal at SeaWorld. Save up to 55% on tickets, fun cards, and passes during our summer sale. Hurry, offer ends soon. Taxes, service fees, blackout dates, and other restrictions may apply.
Every great experience starts with a spark. Ignite the excitement at Daytona Beach Poker, where you'll find all your favorite casino-style table games, including Ultimate Texas Hold'em, 3-card poker, Pi Gal Poker, Mississippi Stud, and more. Whether you're chasing a big hand or enjoying a night out with friends, the action is always burning bright. Plus, with Ember Rewards, every hand helps you earn points toward cash, dining, gift cards, resort getaways, and more. New members can earn up to $150 in bonus cash. Daytona Beach Poker. It only takes a spark. Visit today.
When power goes out and cell networks fail, AM radio can be a lifeline with local news, weather, and emergency information. But time is running out. AM radio could disappear from new cars unless Congress acts. Please text the 2 letters AM to 39179 and tell Congress to vote yes on the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act. Text the letters AM to 39179. Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop. This message furnished by this station.
I'm not great with words after a fight, and I'm sorry wasn't cutting it this time. So I used Smile Tunes to write a soulful ballad about how she's always right. By the second chorus, the silent treatment was officially over. Visit smiletunes.com and get out of the doghouse today.
Want a big green egg? For the lowest price anywhere, go to Wassey's Meat Market. They'll deliver and set up your big green egg so that you'll be cooking before they leave. Follow Wassey's Meat Market on Instagram or go to the website, Wassey'sMeatMarket.com for your big green egg today.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Whether it's help with hormone therapy, weight management, or sexual health, every woman should have access to affordable prescription medication and personalized care that understands the whole woman. Join me, Dr. Doug Lucas, clinical lead of hormone optimization and longevity at LifeMD, along with other leading experts on the podcast, Here's Something Good on Women's Health and Longevity. To learn more, go to lifemd.com.
Why do you love movies? Is it the emotion, the spectacle, the escapism? On Raiders of the Lost podcast, we explore cinema like no one else, including huge interviews with stars like Ryan Gosling on Project Hail Mary.
It was like the Jaws shark. Didn't always work, came with its own problems. That's what made it great. The heart of the movie is Rocky and Grace, and their friendship is hard-earned.
Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Raiders of the Lost podcast, and listen now.
For all your plumbing needs, go to modernpi.com.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Rich, R-I-C-H. That's Rich. Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Radio 104.1.
High Society and prison tattoos. This.
The News Junkie is on. You can learn more about this show. It's honestly pretty easy. Go over to the website, thenewsjunkie.com. You can follow along over there. You can go to thenewsjunkie.com/share to follow C-Lane, Josh, and more. Our friend Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm is joining us today. We've got a lot of stuff, including we'll get to a call here in just a second. But one of the big stories this week, Moses, is kind of a weird one to navigate, is this story about the young man, his teenager, I believe, Nolan Wells. I'm not sure how up on that one you are, but he was this guy in Mississippi who went out onto an island off the coast of Mississippi to party with his friends. And then they left because there were some issues with their boat, and he kept partying on the island. And then they ended up finding him dead later on that night. And the autopsy results are suggesting that, this was a drowning and a terrible accident. But his family is just convinced that something nefarious happened with his friends. And his family lawyered up. They got that guy, Ben Crump, who gets involved in cases like this. And they end up doing their own investigations, and they have their own stuff going on. What do you do in cases like this? Like at some point, the family is so determined that this was a nefarious murder, but it doesn't appear that the facts line up with that.
Right.
Does a grand jury weigh in? I know they were talking about doing that.
Well, ultimately, it's up to the prosecutor as to whether they want to bring charges, and they can, submit that to a grand jury if they want to, but there has to be some proof and some evidence. So, in these types of cases, the family has, basically paid a private investigator, an investigative service of some kind, to go out and do their own investigation and try to gather evidence because they believe that law enforcement's not doing a sufficient job. And then they'll submit that to the state attorney or the prosecutor's office, and they'll ultimately review it, and they make a decision. They have final say, basically, as to, who they bring charges against. And yeah, there's a grand jury proceeding and things like that they could utilize. But if they don't think there's evidence there, especially if a grand jury doesn't think there's evidence there, there's not going to be charges brought.
What about the friends here? Because one thing I saw that's kind of crazy is a lot of this kid's friends. He's young. Mm-hmm. He's a black kid, and the rest of the friend group is white, right? So the family sort of thinks this is a race thing or something. There's absolutely no evidence to support that. In fact, they were his friends, for God's sake. But the family gets upset about this. They get their attorney. This attorney, Ben Crump, is like hyping up these things, hyping up the race angles and some of these things like this. Yeah. And now the friends, who there's no evidence that they did anything wrong, they're getting death threats. There's people who are convinced that they murdered this person. There's conspiracies for them. And some of them are lawyering up. Do they end up having a case, possibly even against the other attorney?
Well, it depends what's being said about them, right? I mean, if it's clearly defamatory and not supported by anything factual, then yes, they could have some sort of lawsuit against them for damages based on what was said and the ultimate damage that they face from that. But, if there's some sort of factual evidence to support that, then they may not have a lawsuit. So ultimately, it's going to depend on what facts can be proven in a court of law. Now, just because in this case they don't want to bring criminal charges, the family could also try to bring civil charges against these individuals for some sort of negligence. But again, you still have to have proof there. It's a lower, lower burden of proof. It's a lower standard, but you still have to have evidence to support it.
Yeah, I don't see any evidence that they did anything, at least this far into it. You can ring us up if you've got something you want to ask Moses. 888-443-NEWS. Let's go over to Mike. Mike, are you with us?
I am.
Hey, Mike, go ahead. You got a question for Mo?
Yes, I do. There's an Airbnb that I frequent up in Tennessee, and I've stayed there so many times. The owners live right in the property right next door. Mm-hmm. And last time I was there, the owner approached me and said, hey, if you ever want to save a little bit of money, just book with us directly and skip Airbnb. And I read somewhere, I think, that that's a bad idea because that cancels out the insurance that Airbnb provides. Ooh. And I was curious if you know who that insurance covers. I mean, does Airbnb's insurance, is that for me or is that for the owner or both of us? Well, I was wondering about liability, a liability question, like if it's wintertime and, like, say, I'm using a space heater or something like that and it catches the place on fire.
All right, thank you for the question,
Can they come after me?
Yeah, thank you for the question, Mike. It's a good question. He's saying if they go around to save a little money around Airbnb, is that bad?
It could be. So, if you're in an Airbnb property, and let's say you get injured on their property, something's wrong. Like we had a case one time where the guy rented an Airbnb, there was a dock, and the dock was rotted, he fell through the dock. Mm-hmm. So then Airbnb has essentially homeowners insurance that covers it because you rented it through their platform. Same with VRBO and kind of all these services. It's usually $1 million, injury policy. Now in his scenario here, if he accidentally burned down the house with a space heater, right? Well, that there is going to depend if you're going outside the Airbnb or VRBO platform or Verbo. Then it's going to depend on what kind of insurance the actual homeowner has. If they just have typical standard homeowners insurance and they didn't disclose to their insurance company that they do short-term rentals, then that claim's going to be denied.
So it gets more complicated.
Yeah, now the homeowner is going to be suing you, saying, well, you started the fire, you need to pay for it, and that's where it gets complicated. So it does eliminate, a lot of issues by going through the platform because they provide the proper insurance there. Now, obviously, 99.9% of cases, nothing happens, but if it does happen, you could have an issue.
Right. It's worth protecting yourself, I guess.
Yeah.
You mentioned Doc when you were talking about that, which flashed something in my mind. Did you see the story this week about that guy who was found guilty by a jury because he got into a fight with somebody? They were on the dock, and the guy was drunk, I guess, and he hit the guy. I don't know if this is on a Ruskin boat dock, I guess. I don't know if this shows it or not. This is like the whole case. But the guy punched the other guy, and when he knocked him out, he fell onto the dock, and then he used his foot to push him into the water, and the man drowned. And so he was held liable for his death. And watching that case, the jury came back fairly quickly with a murder verdict on this person. And I guess the guy's argument was like, I didn't drown him. I just knocked him into the water, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it depends on what state. I guess this was Florida, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. If it was Ruskin, it was Florida.
Yeah, Ruskin, Florida.
I don't know what they convicted him on. I'm assuming some sort of manslaughter.
Murder.
Second degree?
This says he was found guilty of first-degree murder for pushing 47-year-old Melvin Jimenez off a boat dock at the Little Harbor Marina where this happened.
Interesting. So I'm guessing here the debate was probably that little push he made with his foot, right?
Yes.
Because that shows some sort of intent towards actually murdering him versus a second-degree murder or a manslaughter or even an involuntary manslaughter. Because we see cases before where there was actually a case here in Winter Park a number of years ago where a couple kids got into a fight, one threw a punch and it hit the other one just right or just wrong, and the other guy died. And so there it's usually an involuntary or voluntary manslaughter charge. It was obviously an accident, but you're still liable for what happens to the other person. Here, I mean, that was more than just a little push. I mean, he really pushed the guy in there.
And we're watching it here. He walks up to him, right? The guy, they're both on the dock. He's going to get his flip-flops. He looks like he's a little drunk. Then he walks up to him, hits him, knocks him out. He gets knocked out because he hit his head on something. Then he grabs his legs and throws him into the water. And they said, that's murder. That's first-degree murder.
Well, and I'm assuming he didn't jump in to try.
No, he walked away.
Yeah. And so, if we change the scenario there, let's say he just threw one punch and the guy fell in the water. There wasn't that additional step of him grabbing his legs and dragging him off of the dock.
Yeah.
He would not be facing a first-degree murder charge, most likely. He'd be facing probably some sort of manslaughter charge. But because he took that additional step, it shows intent to some degree. At least the jury found that it showed intent to murder the individual by pushing a incapacitated, unconscious individual into the water.
If he was defending himself and the guy ended up in the water, does he now have a duty to get the guy out of the water?
That's a good question.
So, let's say they get in a fight, self-defense, he throws a punch, right?
Yep.
The guy falls into the water. Typically there's not a duty to rescue in Florida. So if he just threw one punch, the guy fell in the water, and he may have a defense. He didn't realize the guy was unconscious, whatever. But usually there's not a duty to rescue. However, here, if he
clearly shoved him into the
hold his ass
if it was self-defense, and even in this scenario, if he knocked him out, but then took that additional step to drag him into the water, it's still murder.
A quick break. When we come back, we'll hear from you. Send a dispatch or an email, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. All right. Let's see. When we come back, I want to talk about a couple of things. We'll do like sort of a grab bag segment. Oh, it's our are we already on our last segment?
Yep.
My God. Final dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut. And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Friday. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is guaranteed human. Are you? Prove it. Tap the TalkBack feature on the free iHeartRadio app and send us an audio message.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
Happy Friday, Central Florida. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your forecast. And for today, it's going to be another soggy day, but not an all-day washout. Still, though, plan for around a 60 to 70% chance of rain in around the Central Florida and Orlando area. This will help to keep temperatures on the lower side closer to normal with a high of around 91 degrees this afternoon in Orlando. We'll see a 60 to 70% chance of rain not only today, but also into the weekend, mainly over the course of the midday to early afternoon. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
Join Jim Colbert on The Jim Colbert Show for his Cigar of the Week segment every Friday afternoon at 3:45. You can pick up these featured cigars at all 3 Corona Cigar Company locations, Dr. Phillips, Heathrow, and downtown. Learn more at coronacigar.com.
When you enter a place of business, you're owed a legal duty that the place of business is safe for you to shop in. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you suffered an injury at a place of business, our duty is to protect you after that harm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.com.
At the Original Mattress Factory, we make mattress shopping easy. We offer our lowest and best price to everyone, every day, so you can shop when you're ready. We show you exactly what's inside of our mattresses so you can see and feel the quality for yourself to ensure you're getting the best value. And we offer a no-pressure shopping experience. Our team is here to help you find the best mattress for you. It's that easy. Visit an OMF location today to see the original Mattress Factory difference for yourself.
Listen to Real Radio in your smart home. Just tell Alexa to play Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio. Sponsored by Mark Spain Real Estate.
No required subscriptions, no trial periods, no surprise charges, no monthly fees. iHeartRadio is different. It's 100% free. Download the iHeartRadio app now.
Save every day at Headquarter Hyundai.
It's trade-in days at Headquarter Hyundai in Sanford Lake Mary. You could get thousands, yes, thousands more for any trade-in, any make, any condition. Plus, we've dropped prices on everything. New Hyundais up to $1,000 below invoice. You heard right. New Hyundais below invoice at Headquarter Hyundai. Save thousands on new Hyundai Tucsons, Elantras, Santa Fe's, Palisades, and more. Up to $1,000 below invoice. With 0% financing for 72 months. And you get America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty and Hyundai Assurance. It's trade-in days. You could get thousands more for any trade-in, any make, any condition.
Save every day at Headquarter Hyundai.
Just off I-4 on Reinhardt Road in Sanford Lake Mary. HeadquarterHyundai.com. HeadquarterHyundai.com. To qualified buyers. For details, visit HeadquarterHyundai.com.
Hi, this is Mike Lester with Talon Wealth and the Guarding Your Nest Egg radio show, and I have another investment idea for those seeking great returns with limited risk. Recently, we did a structured note for our clients, paying them 18.75% per year for 4 years, and it was great for clients seeking income or growth and principal protection. The note was based on the S&P, gold, and silver, and our clients won't lose principal as long as none of the ETFs are down more than 40% 4 years from when we place the trade, and the bank guaranteeing them doesn't default. This isn't an offer because we already traded this note, and structured notes aren't for everyone. But if you would like to know more about how structured notes work and what we currently have available, just give us a call at 407-606-6000.
Advisory services offered through Talent Private Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The opinions voiced and information provided in this material are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual.
Sunnyside Plumbing.
Hey there, my sink is leaking water. I need help right now.
We're having a company-wide staring contest. Do you want to play?
But what about my sink?
Okay, me versus you.
No.
Ready, go.
No, I'm not playing. And you know what? I should have called Frank Gay.
Oh, I almost blinked.
I'm calling Frank Gay.
When it comes to plumbing problems, you want a helpful operator to guide you and an honest and reliable plumber to provide customized solutions for your home.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
What the hell's Angel listening to? Friday nights from 9 p.m. to midnight here on Real Radio is sponsored by DeBerry Family Music and Records.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. What if we told you Matt Damon was screaming on set to get his voice weather warned for the Odyssey? From the TikTok Podcast Network, Raiders of the Lost Podcast has the whole story about the biggest movies of the summer. Download the iHeartRadio app and search Raiders of the Lost Podcast now.
Make sure your family is well taken care of with life insurance. Protect your phones, laptops, and more with electronic device insurance. And cover your furry friends with pet health insurance. Round out your protection with live phone and pet health insurance from Progressive Insurance.
If you want to buy or sell your home quickly, call Nick Lee. For a guaranteed cash offer, visit thenickley.com.
Today is Mo Betta with Josh Fowler, courtesy of Just Call Mo, Orlando's injury attorneys. Forever hovering over life's great dump button. You're listening to the new.
I'm saying hello and goodbye all at the same time. Here we are with the final dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut, and today I learned to wrap everything up for a Friday. Big weekend plans, Moses? Or are you finally just relaxing, for God's sake?
Just hanging around for the most part.
This guy's been on a whirlwind tour over here, just going from place to place. You come back and you got to go to another place, and you got to go to a conference.
It's a rough life. Rough life.
I feel like the schedule of attorney conferences grows by the year.
It's insane. It's a whole industry at this point.
Was the Boston one nice? Because I remember.
Nice.
Sealand, which one was the one that we kind of wanted to go to? Was it was that the Atlanta one or something where they had?
Oh, the Atlanta one was crazy. I don't think they do that one anymore, but some of these conferences hire, Josh and I went to one that like Boys to Men was at. And
that was the Atlanta one.
And that was the Atlanta one. One year, I think they had Ludacris. We didn't go to that one, but
is it weird? I feel like it's like Boys to Men performing for
it's super awkward.
A small group of people.
Which do you think, Moses, you would have known more of the words to, Boys to Men or Ludacris?
I'd say it's actually probably pretty equal. I mean, Boyz II Men had that one album that I feel like everybody knew, which they've obviously been banking on for the last 30 years.
Oh, my God. Yeah. They've been playing at Epcot for like 20 years now, just off that one album alone. Ludacris, though, when he's playing at like a SeaWorld type event, I don't know. Every concert at SeaWorld just looks like a good time.
It does.
It's like, what was it, the Yin Yang Twins that were playing there?
Hell yeah.
I mean, they're a Just Okay alumnus.
Yeah. It's right from that to SeaWorld, and they're like just absolutely going nuts out there. But
we should bring them back. They were a good
We
time.
could do that. They were affordable at the time. I don't know if they've gotten more expensive since then.
I wonder if they still cash in their airline tickets.
I remember they were so specific. They weren't the only one that wanted to get paid cash. The only group that we had perform, was it?
I had to give Juvenile $10,000.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Juvenile, but Juvenile had we had like a down payment for him, and then we had to give him the rest in cash. Rappers like cash. Rappers, like
they do.
Damn right. A friend of a friend, like my friend Barry knows some of the guys in Zac Brown Band, and they did a song with Snoop Dogg, and they had to pay him in cash to be a part of the music video. So they had to like deliver him a paper bag full of cash just to be in the music video with them for this song that they did together.
Good
and I was like, man, they love cash, these rappers.
By the way, one of my favorite tweets of the week was about this. You know the story we talked about, the TSA thing where the young kid stole the cannonballs?
Oh, yeah.
And it put them in his mom's bag. And then when they're flying through TSA freaks out because there's cannonballs there. The headlines were, Juvenile caught by TSA trying to fly with 5 cannonballs stolen from a Civil War fort in Alabama. And some of the tweets were like, oh, I didn't know Juvenile's game was on this level. Like he's bringing it back. Half of the people responding thought there was, I think half of the tweet replies are all the Juvenile, the rapper. It's everybody went in that direction with it. Moses, another thing we should talk about real quick. I know time is ticking on this THC drink situation in the United States. Texas this week already stopped selling them because they had a statewide ban on this. The federal thing, ABC Liquor is doing something. I think somebody emailed that over. Courtney's signing petitions. Everybody's trying to get moving on this because there will be a ban come November of this year on these THC drinks. And that went from nothing to a big portion of these stores. It took away a lot of business from people buying alcohol otherwise. At this point, what can anybody do? Is it just basically on the politicians whether they want to take up the issue or not?
Yeah, basically. I mean, I assume there's been some heavy lobbying here, maybe by the alcohol industry or others. And so, yeah, unless the lobbyists get back in there and the politicians change some of these laws, we're going to be stuck with them.
And then the companies are just screwed out of it, all of that industry that gets built up.
Yeah. The industry is going to die, obviously. Now, the retailers may have some protection where, some of these companies may have to buy back the drinks. But if they file bankruptcy, then some of these retailers may get hurt too.
Yeah.
And,
it's a catastrophe. I don't know if it'll do anything, but I think Courtney's like, I'm signing the petition. I'm getting my name on there. They're trying to take our THC drinks away. Seems pretty harmless, honestly. Actually, Janine sent an email saying, I received an email from ABC Liquors saying the ban was coming up for THC drinks. Here's a link to reach out to Congress if you care to check it out. Have a great day. Yeah, a lot of people were spreading that around. So if you care about that, look for the link. Also, let me see what else we have. If there's anything else that I definitely need to mention before the end of the show. Oh, Mo, there was something about this Luigi Mangione case that I keep seeing. In the Luigi Mangione case, where he killed the healthcare CEO in New York City, his radical supporters are leading the charge, pushing for a legal loophole to be used. Even if a jury believes somebody's guilty beyond reasonable doubt, they can still let the person walk free if they think the law the person's accused of breaking is unjust. I've not heard of this before. Is this new to you? Like, if a jury agrees, yes, he's guilty of that thing, but we don't agree with the law and we think it's unjust, they could let Luigi Mangione free.
So I think what they're arguing is jury nullification, which basically happens when a jury returns. It's usually it would be a not guilty verdict, but they return that verdict not because the evidence doesn't prove the crime, but because they disagree with the law or think the law is unfair or believe the punishment is too harsh. Now, it's extraordinarily rare, and it's very difficult to argue, especially in a murder situation. But it does happen every
Technically, they could do it?
Well, I mean, if a jury comes back not guilty, there's nothing, the court can really do as long as that's their true verdict. You can't really challenge the verdict. But what the underlying reasoning of that would be, especially if there's a case with a lot of evidence, they usually suspect would be jury nullification, which is very difficult to kind of make that argument. But sometimes it does happen, but it's very, very rare.
It's like a Hail Mary type situation. Okay. All right, let's get the hell out of here. Here we go. Time to wrap it up for the week. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
It is Today I Learned for a Friday, July 31st, 2026. Josh, great job as always.
Mediocre work.
Thank you. I appreciate that too. I appreciate that too. C-Lane, try not to destroy your body any further this weekend, please.
We'll see.
You're all bruised and bandaged up. Your knees are going to hell. You've fallen over and knocked things down. Let's try, and hopefully I don't get sick too. God only knows if we'll be back on Monday, but here goes nothing. Today I learned this guy right here.
Bob Marley.
That's right. Bob Marley gave songwriting credits for this song, No Woman, No Cry, to his friend. He didn't write the song. He wasn't part of the song. He just wanted to give him some royalties so that they could support his soup kitchen that helped out poor people in Jamaica, in Kingston, Jamaica.
Irie, man.
It is as Irie gets, Josh. That's my thoughts on it. And that brings us to the final one for the week. Today I learned this band right here. That's right, Motley Crue. This one goes out to Antonio Pizza, trying to shut down the smoking in the boys' room. You know what I mean? Motley Crue was paid $1 million to be the opening act by some unknown group who launched their own tour. There you go. Moses, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
And we'll see you all next week, same time, same place. Missed any of the show? Get the podcast over at thenewsjunkie.com.